Yes, blessed love family, blessed love. It's Friday night. It's just after 9 p.m. Sorry for the late start, my people. I was actually finishing off my dinner. Um, Blessed love people. I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. I can see the mods are in. Rima Truth, you don't know. Is you on your own tonight, sister? I hope not. I hope you can manage them. Um, they'll be in, they'll be in, they'll be in. How are you, my people? I hope you are well. I hope you're rested. I hope you've had a great week. And you're looking forward to the weekend as well. Blessed love, Paula Smith. She's here as well. I know Lioness Keeks is going to be late if she comes at all because she's busy tonight. And we're expecting all about the black. We're in full house, complimentary. Yes, my brothers and sisters. So we have got quite a packed one this evening. I am going to tell you that. We're going to be highlighting two people from West London, from the Ladbroke Grove area tonight. You know something? For a long time, West London has been knocking at the door. We've had one or two people from there, but there's been whisperings for a very, very long time. And I think they've always been kind of pushed to the bottom of the pile, if you like, because of the level or the volume of people that we get in from South London talking. The home counties are talking a little bit more. The rest of the country's talking. So I think we're going to kind of go in that direction. No doubt South will always be on the table. I don't know if it's because it's the biggest ends. I don't like to think that they were more deviant than anywhere else. I think it was more concentrated into one area when it comes on to Brixton and people like that. But, you know, fundamentally, I think that, you know, we had a problem across every section of the black community, whether that was in Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, Bristol, wherever. And I have got some shouts coming up from Bristol at the moment as well. But before I get to that, you know, I don't even want to deal with this. Do you know what I mean, my brothers and sisters? It is a lot. And for me, I've always been an outspoken person. I've always been that person that doesn't go behind your back and say that, and I'll tell you to your face what I think. I don't do go round the houses. I don't do subliminal talk. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just in your face. There you are. Like it, don't like it. It's up to you. But it seems to me that we've got a real problem, not just with the men in our community, with certain sisters as well. I've never understood it. And that's why I don't really keep friends with too much woman, to be fair. But I don't understand the green-eyed monster, because I have no other explanation for the behavior of people like Donna Murray Turner and now other people that are trying to join the party. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I do not have a problem with constructive criticism. Let me just start off by saying that, if it's constructive. The problem with Donna Murray Turner's live is that it wasn't constructive, and it wasn't in the spirit of wanting to add any type of value to the movement. And also that person came as a wolf in sheep's clothing. If they had those sorts of concerns, so to speak, then they should have either brought it to me on a one-to-one, because we have each other's number, or you should have made me aware that these were the concerns, brought me into the conversation, or had the opportunity at the march to directly challenge me on the things that you had issues with. But it wasn't done in that way. It was done in an underhanded way. And that's all that I've been reacting to. You know, that's all that I've been reacting to, is the fact that I don't play these games. I don't. You come correct, you come up front, you come as you are, or you don't come at all. And if you go on like that around me, anybody knows me. Anybody who knows me will bear witness. You go on like that around me, Afua is going to be the one that walks up to you when they see you in the party and say, come here, what are you saying? You know, why would you do that? Why would you actually move that way? Maybe it's because maybe I see the world through my own lens and I think everyone else is straight up, but they're not. So I've been getting sent a lot of stuff as usual. I don't go and look for these things. They do not come my way. I'm one of those people that takes ages to answer messages because I don't look in my phone that much. I just don't. It's not my thing. So when I get these WhatsApps and, you know, these messages, and sometimes from my team because they believe that I should see it, and that's all good, I just got to laugh to myself, really, because quite expectedly, Donna put up a statement in relation to my live. She had the good sense to actually say it was in relation to my live and come. To be honest with you, she has come direct. As much as she's come underhanded, she has been direct. You understand me? Some of them go around more of a corner. And as I said last week, I do believe there was some valid critique there, but they shouldn't have been dealt with in that way. And it also needs to be taken into account how this movement grew. I've been trying to upload the interview that we did, but for some reason it's just too big, and I didn't have time to get into my drive or whatever was going on. But it's not even so much Donna. Donna's going to be Donna. Donna's going to do what she does. I got sent something, actually. I'm going to read it to you because I couldn't get to upload it. And this is from Lady Smurf, who I believe is extremely bright and out of order to even try to put her crass's mouth into the mix. Like, how dare you? And the other thing I want to mention as well, because Donna's statement is very academic, it's very corporate. And that's the shit I'm talking about, my brothers and sisters. I am not at work in front of my managers. I don't need to keep up that facade. I am a very multifaceted, dynamic individual. I'm like a chameleon. I can go into a corporate setting. I know the language. I'm articulate enough to understand what they're saying and to meet them at their level, if not outshine them, match them, whatever it is. But I've got an issue with Black professionals that feel that they have to present that way all the time. I've got an issue with it. When you come home, you kick off your shoes, you leg on your belt, and you fart. You understand what I'm saying? And we speak the language of our homes. This is our home environment. I'm speaking to my sisters on this page. So I don't feel the need to present in that way. I don't have to. I'm a creative writer. I believe that my forte in life is my words, whether they are written or spoken. And yeah, you know, we all have our gifts. We all have our blessings. I've always wanted to be able to draw. I can't. My kids draw better than I am. I can only draw stickmen. Let us know our lane and our limitations in it. But you see, when it comes to Lady Smurf, I was sent something that she put up on her Facebook. I don't even know if I follow. I can't even remember if I follow this woman on Facebook, but I haven't seen anything come up. Oh, the picture's bad again. 1 minute, my brothers and sisters. Let me try to correct it. It's the old laptop, people. Give me time. Right, so I look all right to me. It looks nice and clear to me. I can't see what's going on there. But yeah, I mean, it's all of that. We talked about it last week in relation to how I felt that Donna was disingenuous. And she, you know, in my opinion, she is. My opinion. Other people may have different experiences of her. But the problem is that both those individuals from the South London, Brixton, Croydon area, both of them, Smurf and Donna, who I'm not sure know each other. They may not. But both of those people, prior to all of this, I had nothing but bad messages from people. You know, people saying, beware of that person. I see you're collaborating with them. Beware. I've never been a person to allow other people's opinions to darken my view of anybody. You have to come to me. Do you understand? Because I realize that I'm a bit like Marmite. People either love me or they hate me. So the people that hate me are going to go, she's this, she's that. But the one thing they can't do is try to drag up anything from my history, truthfully, where I've been a wrong-un to people in my community. It doesn't happen. Do you understand? And if it did, do you not think they'd all be coming out the woodwork already? Now, the problem is that I've had DMs, I've had messages, I've had people that know certain people that contact me and tell me this and tell me that. And I never paid any of that much mind, you know? I allowed myself to be open. But people like Smurf, people like Donna Murray Turner, and particularly Smurf, were the people who contacted me at the end of the day. I don't know these women. I'm not from South. I'm from East London. So I don't know these women from anywhere. And if I knew anybody from South, it would usually have been brothers. I don't really know much women from history I'm talking about, you know, historically. So I don't know these people. They contacted me because of this platform. Donna came in the guise of a Black professional that wanted to lend her, you know, a skill set and collaborate and for us to do the right thing as sisters. That's why I'm so incensed by the way that she moved. Now other people are going, well, I did tell you, you know, she's all about herself. She's a power hungry person, and everything that I've clocked has been the case. You know, big up East London, you don't know P. It's just so sad. It's just so sad for me that all those things that I was told has come to pass. And I've seen it for myself. It's just so sad. But I'm not a person that holds a belly, if that makes sense. I've never been like that. If you're able to be humble and come to me and say, you know what, I actually boobied with that. come to me and say it, because it's not, the onus is not on me to contact you at the end of the day. I'm still open, to say, you know what, let's just, for the greater good. I don't got to love you. All I know is that this issue is an issue in our community, and not one of you people took it on before I did. Why didn't you fix your own ends, Brixton? Why didn't you fix your own ends, Croydon? Why didn't you fix your own ends? Why did it take little old me from East London to come along and blow open what all of you have lived with for so long, what all of you are associated with, whether it's through a baby father, your husband, your partner, your best friend's brother, whatever it is? It was never, ever dealt with. You all held the wall of silence. All of you held the wall of silence. So don't start coming and having a go at me because I decide that I want to bust it wide open. And I've dealt with my own ends as well. Marcus Nasty, people like that. Can't remember the other one's name, but they were from East London. There's no cherry picking going on for me. But just remember, because Donna Murray Turner made a statement. I only read it today. Sister sent it to me a while ago. It's quite long. She says, leadership from a place of trauma is dangerous. Are you talking to me? Because you see those type of underhanded comments. I swear it was you that came to me because of your trauma with an individual that I called out that was related to you and had actually assaulted you. I'm not leading from no position of trauma. How dare you? Who the hell do you think you actually are? You see the hurry come up people. Because one thing I know, 30 years ago when I was in the field, getting down and dirty, trying to heal our people, I swear you were kicking off doors, deporting people. So what are you talking about? They come with this hoitiness that I don't much care for. And what they all seem to not understand, talk to Viv that used to be confounded by the fact that I didn't seek the positions that he sought. I didn't care. I would much rather go over to Kenya and train with the descendants of the Mau Mau fighters than I would trying to step into City Hall, Parliament, and all the rest of it. So if you people really believe that you're dealing with just an average sister, think again. Talk to Viv. You all covet his position as much as you hate him. It's all a bunch of backstabbers. And that's why I stepped out of the scene 10 years ago. In fact, more than that now. I've just come and resurfaced about 3 or 4 years ago. And everyone knows about the His Time Is Up campaign. Anyone that was around long enough will know my works. And they'll also know the point at which I vacated. Why? Because of these black so-called professionals and intellectuals. The notorious VIV, right? Isn't he just? But they're all cut from the same cloth, my brothers and sisters. They really, really are. And one of the things that struck me about DMT was how much he reminded me of a female hymn. The aspirations and the rhetoric and all of that stuff. And I thought, there's no need for all of this. It's just me and you talking on the phone overnight. There's really no need for it. But we meet people at their level. We do what we do. I'm a person. I leave it at the door. And when I'm speaking and dealing with my people, I deal with them as I am. Because I don't walk around my house using highbrow semantics. I don't do that. I speak patois. I speak, I speak the way I speak. I'm from East London. A bit of Cockney comes out. I'm from the ends like anybody else. A bit of that comes out. I don't need to do that. And to me, it's just totally pretentious and I can't take it. It's the reason I used to be always in problems with them in management meetings and whatever. But when it comes on to Smurf now, you're a crasses. You're walking around telling lies. You're walking. She's no lady at all. And she's yellow belly. That's right. Phone my phone. I dare any of you to come and talk to me personally about this or try to bring that energy in my orbit. I don't even need to raise my voice or use profanity, because I know that I deal with hardcore truth. And when the truth slaps them in their face, there's absolutely nothing that they can do about it. But I just think she's extremely bright. Bearing in mind, I'm going to play back the phone call between me and her, just so you lot can hear again. And for the people that she's walking around telling lies to, for the perpetrators that I've called out on this page that she's trying to beg friend with, which I think is absolutely despicable, listen to it again and you will get the full story, because perhaps people did not listen to it. This is a phone conversation with Smurf trying to draw me into something that has absolutely nothing to do with me. Sorry for those of you that heard the story before. But what's actually making me play this again tonight is that somebody sent me this. And basically, she's agreeing. I'm not going to read out Donna's statement. It's all very long. And she goes on about the Nolan principles of public life. Do me a favor. I am not a systemite. I don't have to adhere to anything that isn't of us. We are a community that lacks our own perspective, our own culture. We are so totally assimilated as a people. It doesn't happen with the Asian culture. The reason they're so successful is because they are so grounded in their own culture once they close that door of a night. Read Frantz Fanon, Black Skin, White Mask. Have you people even read these books? Have you people even studied with the great scholars that we have in our community that rose us to the level that we are mentally? Do you understand? Read Black Skin, White Mask. I don't need to assimilate in my home. Not at all. And I refuse, actually. I actively refuse. I've turned down jobs that don't give me the autonomy, that have been very high-ranking jobs in government institutions, because it doesn't give me the autonomy to speak the way I speak now. I became a consultant because I want that autonomy. I do not adhere to anything that isn't of us. The Nolan principles of public life. It's so stale. It is so predictable. It is so Eurocentricized. You know, of course, we have to have a moral code. They used to try to fling things like that at my teacher, Khalid Mohammed. You know, I remember on the Donahue show, particularly, that's the most famous one that I can think of that most people might know. When he said, you know, are you an entertainer? Are you a man that's serious about your people with this kind of rhetoric? And the way that Khalid broke it down to him, we are a people of rhythm and spirit. So I seriously give information, but I also give entertainment, because that's the kind of people we are. You have to take bad sinting, make joke. This is our people. This is our culture. I'm not looking to assimilate, and we all have to. We all have to. Every time I put on my lanyard and I walk out there into what we've euphemized as the plantation, I assimilate. We all have to. We all have to, you know. But once I come home, as Brother Frantz Fanon instructs us, we need to surround ourselves in our culture, and that's from inside out. Otherwise, we will lose ourselves, because this is not of us. We are not in our natural habitat. We are like, to some extent, the lion inside London Zoo, pining for his homeland, whether we realize it or not after 500 years. That's what's going on. So don't be bringing these Nolan principles of public life to me, which is all, like I said, very textbooked, very bog standard, and actually was written for more people that are politicians. You understand? People that actually hold public office. So it's not even relevant. And that's what makes me laugh about what Khalid would call hadiographers. You know, people that want to come across as a lot more intelligent than they actually are, and they use these sorts of things. But let me read out to you, because I can't upload it, what Smurf said. Totally agree. She's agreeing with Donna's statement about, you know, all sorts. If I had time and I didn't have 2 items tonight, I'd read it. Maybe I'll put it up. I'm going to try and screenshot it and put it up, and you guys can make up your mind. But she says, totally agree, Backyardians. Who are the Backyardians, by the way? Is that all the 15 people that normally come onto your live to watch you acting like a puppy show? Anyway, totally agree, Backyardians. As a qualified practitioner, I thought you were a youth worker. We have recruited a highly qualified trauma specialist counsellor who has volunteered their services under our platform. Is that counsellor schooled and qualified in the principles of African holistic health and intercultural therapy? If they're not, then you might as well get a white one. And there's nothing wrong with white counsellors for white people and white consciousness and white psychology. But when it comes on to people of African descent, we need more. And accept it or don't accept it, it's up to you. I'm not about to assimilate. So she says, totally agree, Backyardians. As a qualified practitioner, we have recruited a highly qualified trauma specialist counsellor who has volunteered their services under our platform. As Donna Murray Turner rightly explains below regarding the principles, please pop into her live shows for more information. Why are you begging a friend? You're not even in the party, Smurf. You can hardly string a sentence together. You're not even at the table. Stop pushing up your mouth in what does not involve you. Stop walking around and telling people lies and dropping things into WhatsApps and generally just making a total dummy of yourself. Stop it at the end of the day. Stop trying to bully the situation. You know what you did, and I find you to be very bright. The fact that you, of all people, that has left a sister at risk, a vulnerable sister who has shared on this platform, left her at risk and not looked about her own safeguarding, that you would even decide that you want to even put out a public statement like that. You just can't make them up, can you? You just can't make them up. But just talk to me. You were fine to call me when you wanted to bring me into your mix-up. How comes you're not calling me now for dialogue? Because there's obviously an issue. And what you're doing as black women, you know, I understand why the man them hate me. I understand why they want to shut me down. I understand all of that. But how can you as women who approach my platform in the guise of wanting to support it now want to be turning it around and talking about how the platform ain't this and the platform ain't that? It's just pathetic. Well, it was fine before I called you out on your bad behavior, wasn't it? Right? It was fine before I called you out on your bad behavior. What did you expect? Because, you know, we had some sort of collab going on, and that wasn't the case with Smurf anyway. That was talks that I had with DMT, Donna Marie Turner. Smurf pushed up herself into the whole mix, and wanted to play the music last year and done whatever she did. Gravy. So it just makes me laugh. Why come to me as wolf in sheep's clothing if really you didn't have no pureness in your heart for the sister? I don't deal like that. I open my gates and I open my arm and I open my heart to you sisters. And look how you're moving. You know, Donna Marie Turner is just classic. It's just, you know, like I said, power hungry, doing what they're doing, want to be in the limelight, grudge anybody that isn't, whatever. That's very simple. But you see Smurf, that now is a very underhanded, wicked woman. Let me tell you that straight. So she's got all that to say. Yeah. She wants to go around and tell people that she didn't put anybody at risk. So why are you apologizing for it then? Why are you saying that you really hope that it doesn't help hurt our working relationship? We didn't have one, by the way, but in your head we did. It's just this massive double standard. We're going to get into Ladbroke Grove in a minute, but let me replay it. I'm going to try and find it. I don't know if I rubbed it off. I may well have deleted it to make some space after the fact, but I am going to try. I may well have gotten rid of it, you know, in which case I'll play it from my phone. I may well have gotten rid of it. I think I actually did. I've got the screenshots, but I don't have the recording. Look at that. Oh, actually, hang on. Hang on, people. Hang on. I may well have it. Yes, I do have it. Great. Hold tight, my brothers and sisters. Just as a recap for those that have not seen it, this is at the point where Smurf had betrayed our sister Donna and given her identity to people that were associated with her perpetrator, quite deliberately. And she was trying to draw me into the narrative. She called me very early one Sunday, and this was the conversation. Listen up. Hopefully for some people, you know, you still got the doubters. I think it's just buffering at the moment. Bear with me.
All she did is inspire other people and hoping.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm glad you called me, actually, you know, Smurf, because I wanted to call. Well, that's taking its sweet old time, isn't it? With you, but you know how it goes. God knows the technology these days. Give me a moment with that, my brothers and sisters. But I just find it just completely abhorrent, this type of behavior. Humble yourself. You know, I don't know no other way. You see, if I'm wrong, I'm a person that will humble myself. I will throw myself at your. And why would Alison drop me out? I don't understand. It's me talking.
Well, no, it's not just cut you out, because Donna's been trying to. When Donna started to talk to us about it, and I just said, look, Donna, as far as we're concerned, the Afua is good. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get involved. I like Afua, and I'm here to support her. And I didn't, and I said to Alison, listen, I want to draw back from Donna. I know you don't want to engage with her. I don't really like the judge. She's too judgmental for my life. And I tried to say to Alison, I just can't take the judgmental stuff. And I know Alison was taking it on. And I said, Alison, listen, we don't really know Donna. And I can only take her for what she said about her abuse. But anything after that to do with her Afua, there's really nothing to do with her.
Yeah, but I don't understand how whatever's going on with you and Donna and Alison and whatever has got anything to do with me and Donna. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, it feelings remind me how Donna wanted us to look at you in a different way. And I'm not too sure. My gut feeling is Alison took it on, and I did. I've just said, no, I'm not taking on because I don't know. You know, Donna came up with a whole heap of stuff, and I said, listen, Donna.
A whole heap of stuff like what, though, Smurf? Do you know what I mean?
Money that she had lent you, and I said, there's nothing to do with that.
Hold on, money that she had lent me and what?
And that she had to ask for the money back. And I'm thinking, you got to just do that with me. You gave me 30 quid, I didn't ask for it. You wanted to go in the hotel. I didn't want to go in the hotel when we went to Coventry. I couldn't afford it, you understand? You did it. Oh, don't worry, Smith. Just like she did with the car. Don't worry, Smith, I'll cover it. And the next minute you want to throw it in my face. I could not wait to give her back the 30 quid.
She didn't have to ask me for nothing. I gave it back to her. That's rubbish.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And it's when I first landed and nobody knew where I was. And I couldn't get to my own funds quick enough. And she offered, actually. So anyway, that's that. But at the end of the day, that's not even a thing. To me, that's nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? And not only that, what I recognise is that sister has been through a lot. She's damaged in that regard. Let her think what she wants to think. I don't have anything against your sister.
Don't stop bitching and mixing up people. And that's the bit. I understand what you've gone through. But I've also recognised, and I was watching it during the time you'd come back, during the time she was too mixed up and too judgmental. And it was weeks ago. I said, listen, I'll draw that. I know you like her, but I just can't take the vibes. How she wants to be like, you know, if I was a survivor, the last thing I want to do is judge anyone, yes or no? And I just thought, I know you're a survivor, but I hate you so judging, critical and judgmental, and just, I can't do it. I just don't do that negativity. And I've never had nothing negative to say about anyone who's doing something good for the community, because I'm a community development worker, so I know. So I was trying to Alison, don't take it on. Yeah, but now, Alison, this is whatever she's done with Afua. And really, even though Donna is aggrieved with me, my mate should say, listen, you and her sort it out. Don't get involved, because can you imagine us getting involved?
I'm still trying to figure out what that's got to do with me. That's just what I'm saying. I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure it out, swear down, because when you sent me the text, you said Alison's something like Alison's dropped me and you out for Donna, and I'm like, what? I don't.
Alison already dropped out really ages ago, but she just ain't she ain't gonna, because she's got the view. Donna's given her a view of you ages ago, and I told Alison, don't bother with it, man, because I know what I feel of her. Even if she makes mistakes, at least she's upfront about it. Do you understand?
I'm always upfront about it.
I said even when we was a bit annoyed with her, at least we was able to front it. She didn't back off, and she came back, and she dealt with us. Now I'd rather deal with someone.
You and Alison was annoyed with me about what, sis?
Do you remember when we was doing the march and we rang you in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we was just a bit frustrated, and I think maybe you must have did the show, and you dealt with us. It's not nothing that we've held.
I can't even remember what that was about. What was that about?
That's what I'm saying, but it was then. But all I do is I remember how you dealt with us directly.
But remind me though, sis, because I don't remember no vexation.
No, it wasn't vexation. We were just a bit concerned. You remember when you did your show on a Friday? And you must have mentioned our names, and we rang in and said, oh, you've got to let us know. And you said, oh, yeah, all right, next time I need to know in hindsight.
I can't remember, to be fair. Was that to do with the cabbage man thing?
It wasn't enough to hold on to, but I respected how you dealt with. You know what I mean? I moved on after that because I'm kind of good. We still, the march still went off away. We didn't kind of say we're not doing it because of blah, blah, blah. We still
was that to do with the cabbage man thing? That thing? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it could have been after that, and we've come to, and the march was all at the same time, a week after, I think, a week before.
Right.
But it wasn't enough for us to lose sleep over. It was dealt with at the time. But Donna, I've found is very dangerous and manipulated. And Maybe that's the survivor's behaviour. And I just thought, you know what, Donna? At the end of the day, you know, everyone makes mistakes, everyone apologises, but, you know, if Alison has a phone talk coming up this week for 2 weeks since Donna, and I just said, my mate suggested to her, well, if she was your real friend, she would have said to Donna, you just now saw it out, because me and her still doing her thing, but she's taken on Donna's argument.
But what I'm saying is, it was such a long time ago. This was back in February when Donna was upset and what have you, with whatever was going on with me and her. This was back in February. So how is it now?
Is it February this year?
Yeah. So how is it now that this has become a thing for Alison? I don't understand. Because what this current thing is about is, let me finish. What this current thing is about, yeah.
I tell you what I did. I've only put Alice in it because I remember her reaction. You will never know from her, but I remember her reaction. Maybe I shouldn't have told you about something that you didn't know. She's not gonna ring you and tell you, oh, Donna told me this and Donna told me that. But if you know that Alison doesn't communicate only in the group now as much as she used to, but because I knew she'd withdraw that because of what Donna was telling her. And then,
I don't really hardly communicate in the group at all. Like I've got 100 WhatsApp groups with about 1,000 messages a day, so sometimes it's difficult. I don't care about things like that anyway. Communicate in the group, don't communicate in the group. It seems that neither of you actually, Smurf, neither you or Alison told me that Donna was kicking off about me. Do you understand?
Let me tell you the truth. I didn't think it was worth it because I didn't take it on. But it wasn't enough for me to say I'm going to judge her through the rose for something which is nothing to do with me. If Donna and her is engaging, why is it to do with me?
But you're saying that Alison drew back from the group because she was upset by it or thought of me different or whatever. You know something, Smurf? This is the reason I don't par with women. Let me tell you that.
My God.
Because I ain't really got time for all the mix up and the pass. I don't really care. Yeah.
I don't do venture batty, you know. And people who's coming to me. Remember, I'm not going to Donna. Donna's chasing me down. I'm not going to Alison. I do my own thing with me and my people then.
But hear what I'm trying to get at, yeah, Smurf. What I'm trying to get at, yeah. All right. So February, that's me and Donna. Fine, not a problem. She's saying what she's saying, mouthing off to you and Alison. That's fine, not a problem to me. Don't care, right?
No.
What are we now? February, March, April, May, June. 4 months later, you and Donna have some kind of set to because you've shared information. And as far as she's concerned, you've outed her and put her at risk, right? First I hear of all of it because there's a big 4-month gap where I haven't spoken to Donna. I didn't even read her message that she sent me because I'm not in the energy. You understand? I've got a lot to do. So I'm 4 months unaware that you guys are having a whole raving relationship or whatever's going on. This is all from what you've told me, right?
Yeah.
4 months in. Then you and Donna have an issue because you shared a thing with Delphine or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, and I've come to you too.
Donna's sent me something, a message saying what you've done and that I should be careful of you because with victims' stories. Let me done. I don't have a bloody clue why she would think that I'm sharing stories about any of the victims with anybody. Do you understand? But obviously that was what was in her mind. She felt the need to tell me in a text. I just said to her very basically, sorry to hear that, wouldn't want to know that any victims are at risk. Hope you two sort it out. Next minute I get something from you saying, what's going on with Donna? You understand? We had a conversation on the back of that. I rang you, yep, you asked me to. And you told me what was going on with you and Donna and how you saw it. Yeah? Then we end that conversation and then you send me something about some message that Donna sent Alison and then you're sending it to me. I didn't answer it. Then I get another message saying Alison has dropped me and you out for Donna. Please tell me how any of this has got anything to do with me, Smurf, because I feel like you're trying to draw me in. I swear
I'm
down,
not.
that's what I feel. Think about it though, Smurf.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about. I feel what I think it was to more or less to explain that I was feeling how I actually see.
Yeah, but why all of a sudden after 4 months people are licking me up? You lot weren't communicating with me before. Why? That's what I'm saying to both you and Donna.
I think.
What has it got to do with me?
You know what? You're most probably right. I think it just sprang something, and then I just thought, I'm going to talk to her through all this shit with you, and maybe I shouldn't. So I apologise. I didn't mean to upset.
Do you know what? Yeah, sis. Let me tell you what I think. I don't. I'm not in no kind of a manipulation. I'm not in anybody's mix-up. I'm not going to be used and drawn in for anybody's traction or whatever it is that they think, Smurf. And you know me. I talk straight. I talk straight, Smurf. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think you're out of order because you shouldn't have shared the woman's things. No matter how you tried to justify it, when you told me, oh well, you know, she's in the dance, she's chatting up to people. So what? Let me done because like I've actually been very quiet on it, Smurf. So I'm going to tell you what I think now, innit? So I think you are out of order, and I think also Donna's out of order for chatting and carrying on and doing what she's doing. I think both you and Alison, if you had the right kind of love in your heart for me, you would have licked me up and told me that Donna was saying what they had to say about me. Do you understand? I haven't got anything against anybody. Let me make that very clear. You understand me? And as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand why you're trying to bring me into a mix-up that has got absolutely nothing to do with me.
It wasn't really bringing you in.
Well, it is though, isn't it, Smurf? Because you're sending me texts, you're expecting me to respond. I mean, when you send a provocative text like Alison has blocked me and you out because of Donna or whatever that text said, it's very provocative, isn't it? It warrants a response. It warrants a response, Smurf. It warrants a response, doesn't it? So if I didn't have any sense, now you're talking over me, Smurf, please, babes. Yeah? If I didn't have any sense, what I would do is ring up Donna, not Donna, Alison, and go, what's going on, and create some kind of contention. Maybe you didn't look on it that deep, but at the end of the day, it's highly irresponsible, it's bloody immature, and it's still got nothing to do with me.
You know what? I'm not even going to argue with you. I think you're totally right, and I think I was just freaking out, might have gotten upset. Sorry, I apologise. I think you're right. I'm not going to.
It's foolishness, really.
Listen, I'm not going to stand here and justify my innate behaviour. I think I wrote this text wrong. That's my view. I don't think I put it in this. When my head's going, I just put it down, and I've got to take full responsibility. And of course, I do respect you. I am sorry. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I don't want to waffle on and bullshit or anything. I am sorry. And I think I was just a bit frustrated, and I shouldn't have done it. So there's nothing more I can say. And there's one thing I don't want to do is break down. Because when Donna did speak to me, I didn't argue or cuss about it. I said, you know what, you're right. I didn't think I would apologise sincerely. And I was in tears apologising to her. Because I actually didn't realise at the time. So, yes, you're right. Yes, I shouldn't have done that. And two, I apologise.
It is what it is, Smurf. Just reflection time, innit, sis? Just reflection time, sis. If you know that you've done the sister wrong, just chill. I don't know why you're still trying to have it as something that it isn't. Just apologise and just chill and be humble, innit?
I think it's just abuse after you do apologise. And I understand how affects you. But I have apologised since then. I didn't apologise lightly. It wasn't I'm saying sorry. I apologised because I took responsibility for it. I did. You know what I mean? And I did mean the apology. I didn't apologise just for I'm not a pretender. If that makes any sense. And I apologise. So I'm also going to apologise to you because I didn't mean to feel like I'm bringing you in it. I think I wrote the text wrong. So
I just want you to have a look at that, my sister. Just have a look at that because it ain't cool. Do you know what I mean? Even your whole stance over this ain't cool. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. If you've made a boob up, the best way to deal with that is humility and honesty, and that's it. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no other go around it or don't go around it. Do you understand? And whatever's going on with you and Alison, call the sister and sort it out. That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of early still on a Sunday morning for me. I've been trying to get some rest. You get me?
Listen, I'd rather you deal with me straight. Like, I'm rid of my people because I respect that more than anything else. And I'm gonna take on what you say, and I apologize.
All right, Smurf. No worries, sis. Yeah, man.
I do like you a lot, so I don't wanna lose the contact that we have.
Yeah, man.
Or the working contact, but yeah, I was very, very proud of you, love.
Yeah, I hope Brixton stands up and has a look. Do you know what I mean?
But my heart missed a couple of beats. I mean, the show was, what, 3 hours ago? My heart took a beat, a missing beat when I watched it. And then when you try to make sure about the artists and all this thing, and I thought, yeah, ram it down their throat. I was just kind of in awe. Yeah, take it. I want to see you coming back. He's coming to talk to us. Say something. Get in the chat room. Stand up. Black Olive. Because I remember her. And I remember she coming in the trying to defend up man.
Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold still. But yeah, man, I hope Brixton pay attention still. But I'm going to jump up and make my little girl's breakfast, man. I heard her stirring when the phone rang. We went out last night, so we woke up late and that.
Okay, but again, I do apologize.
All right, Smith, no worries.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
You understand?
Well, hopefully for some people, you know. You still got the doubters.
The daughter's going to come on. All she did is inspire other people. I'm hoping.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm glad you called me, actually, you know, Smurf, because I wanted to call. I said, I'm glad you called me, actually. I was meaning to catch up with you, but you know how it goes.
Listen, cut me out, man.
No, I wanted to find out about the text you were sending me still, because first of all, I don't want to get dragged into it, so I'm not really feeling the text, Smurf. I ain't going to lie to you, you get me? Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes. So did you hear how repentant that woman was? Did you hear the fake humility from that person? Do you understand what I'm saying? I just don't understand it. Oh God. We're being spammed by these pornographic people. I don't even know who they are. Just block them. It just defies belief. You heard that for yourselves. It's a conversation between me and a woman. And to me, that was all fake then, because at the end of the day, what was all that about? I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know, you're right. You know, I don't want to lose our working relationship, and I do respect you, Afua, and you know, just all this fake. Keep it in your corner. You understand me? Keep it in your corner. I don't understand. You didn't have to contact me in the first place. You didn't have to do any of that. But you see these people that cannot. You know what? You lot have seen it all for yourself, you know. You lot have all seen it for yourself. It says Afua has lost the plot. Yeah, whatever, T. You can stay on because you're amusing. It's just ridiculous. So now they're all coming for me. Now they've all got all this stuff to say. Afua's this, Afua's that. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're contradicting yourselves. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. I haven't come for anyone. Remember that. I opened my doors to you people. Do you understand? And you started moving sideways. And that's it. Anyway, I'm not going to revisit it. Whatever they chuck after that, whatever they say, please don't send it to me. I don't care. I am not interested. Because really, all this is a distraction to what we are here for. Is there a problem in our community? Yes or no? Both you, Donna, both you, Smurf. Is there a problem in our community? If it is, then we're doing something about it. If you want to go off and do your own platform or whatever, because actually that's really the agenda, then go off and do that. At least you'll be doing something about what's going on. I don't care. That's what people need to understand. I do not business. They also think that it's some sort of victory. I've been getting DMs on my new page saying, you've lost your I haven't lost my children. I haven't lost my liberty and my livelihood. I've got my health. You know, why do I care? We've got this platform. We've got another Facebook page building up. We've got Facebook to get the message out on. And actually, somebody DM'd me this week with a new platform that is kind of like YouTube, but it's African centered. And I'm going to be uploading all my stuff on there. So don't be surprised if I switch to that platform. And on that platform, they do not restrict freedom of speech. So it seems like a plan to me. And that's the type of thing that we all should be jumping on in the community. Met that was an Asian social media platform that people could do their thing on, and you would see people there in the millions. But no, we're too interested in trying to replicate, always trying to reinvent the wheel, always want to, like I said, too many chiefs and not enough Indians, not wanting to back the thing that is there for that reason, you know, not wanting to back it, always wanting to outshine the other one. It's classic plantation behavior and mentality. And I don't, for one, response for it. It's as simple as that. But my brothers and sisters, let's move on to Scully, aka Franklin Prosper. Scully of Ladbroke Grove. Now, I highlighted him very, very quickly. It was very kind of vague and quick, and it was sort of in the middle of the story about Bugsy, and I believe that they were associates, friends, whatever. 1 minute. It was in the middle of that, and I kind of vaguely mentioned him, but that's because we were still investigating. That's because we were still gathering our evidence. Incidentally, evidence that people say we don't have. I'll talk about that another time. We were busy doing that. And let me tell you, this man is alleged, I do say alleged, because nothing's been proven so far in a court of law. And I wonder why, because so many of these women that I've spoken to now, I've spoken to some and I've received messages from some in the form of written kind of mini statements and emails and whatever. Are so afraid of this guy. You know, I'm starting to think, was he the Vincent Rat of West London? Although, you know, you'd have to work pretty hard in the depths of hell to be as bad as Rat, wouldn't you? But this guy is sailing close in terms of the volume of women that he has raped over the years, at knife point most of the time, loves his knife, loves to come out and lure women back to his address, you know. 1 second, my brothers and sisters, because I haven't got everything in front of me laid out in a file. Laid out in a file. Let me see. Yes. So quite a few women have talked about a place in Queen's Park Court, Ilbert Street. Now, I don't know Scully. I don't know if that's an address. If anybody knows him to have lived at that address, I believe it's his family home. Or his mum's address or something. If anyone knew of him to live at that address, please DM me or please put a 1. We've got a new Instagram page, by the way. For those of you that don't know, the old Instagram page is down. They've managed to hack it and delete it, I do believe. So I don't know if that's coming back anytime soon. But the new one is, there it is across the screen. I'm going to leave that up there for a while so that you guys can see that. And that's the new Instagram. So any messages, anything that you need to say, any stories that you need to tell me, cases that you want to bring it to that new Instagram, which is Afua.Rose69. The previous one was Afua Rose, one word, 69. This one has just got a dot in the middle, Afua.Rose69. That's the new Instagram page. Keep it moving on that page, my brothers and sisters. But yeah, this place in Queen's Park Court seemed to be the venue for much of the atrocities, or a lot of the atrocities that I've been hearing about anyway. Girls that were led there, underage girls, by the way, not all women, by no means. Young girls, 15, 16, 17, those kind of ages, 14, you know, those kinds of ages, while he was a big man, leading them back there at knife point into that address. I wouldn't want to believe that mummy knew what was going on. You know, she probably just thought he was bringing girls up there. But this is what was going on. And by all accounts, as usual, this person is a cocky narcissist who would never admit it. And I don't know why people expect that men would admit this. Those types of men, I should say, would admit their atrocities. Why would they? When they've spent their entire lives building up a persona around them that people trust, that people will never believe that they're doing this, just like Jimmy Savile did, just like R. Kelly did. I mean, I could go on, just like all of them do. But when people want to jump on because they have a good impression of this person, not understanding that this person is deviant and they've got something that they're hiding from the world, I just don't understand why there is always this disparity in the narrative, why people always want to attack the truth when it comes out. There cannot be so many women talking about this Franklin Prosper, aka Scully person, just like it was with Rat. And it isn't true. These women don't, some of them know each other by growing up in the same area, but they were never friends. They never moved together. And some of those women have moved away and have nothing more to do with Ladbroke Grove anymore. But they're all talking. They're all saying, have you called this guy out yet? Have you called this guy out yet? And I've been watching this build up in my inbox for quite some time. And I'm saying, okay, so let's start to investigate this stuff now. Let's start talking to people. Let's start looking at stuff, you know. And what is coming out is that, according to these women, Franklin Prosper, aka Scully, is a serial rapist. And I don't mean some sort of opportunist young guy that got caught up with his brethren them one day in the flats and run a battery on a girl. I'm talking about a serial rapist that time and time again, this man raped women at knife point. You know, and then he's still got people around him that want to even defend that. He's naturally going to defend that. That's obvious. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, my brothers and sisters, man, when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? When are we going to stop holding these people and being complicit by default of our silence, of our inability to expose these people in our community, and our insistence on trying to tear down people like me who do? You understand? Trying to undermine people like me who do. It's all of the good, the bad, and the ugly in this situation. For those of you that don't know this man, this is what he looks like. He's got something out at the moment, something that he's written and performed. It must be some sort of, I don't know, monologue theatre piece or something. And it says, every sinner has a future. Now, I think that's very telling. Every sinner has a future. So he's aware that there's sin, I do believe. I don't know if it's some sort of metaphor and the play is completely, not like what it says on the tin. But for what I've heard and what I've known and what I've seen with this guy, to have that as a one-man show that you've constructed, it's really quite chilling, isn't it? Every sinner has a future. Well, I'd say every sinner has a past, and that past needs to be addressed before you can go and reinvent yourself and become a better man. And that's the issue with them. They want to kind of bury their past, pretend like it didn't happen. And meanwhile, they've left in their wake a string of victims that are still suffering. I'm going to read out a couple of messages that I received. It's just, a couple of them are statements really from two women who went as, look, most women that I've spoken to won't even go as far as putting out a statement because they're very, very scared that if they actually tell a little bit of their story, even if it's me reading it for them, you don't have to come on, you don't have to put on your camera, any of that, that he may still be able to identify them because of the nature of what they're describing. That's how scared they are of this man. And I'll tell you another thing, yeah? We don't really do bullies around here. We're not scared of you. I didn't grow up in West London, Ladbroke Grove, whatever, so I don't really care about your reputation. All I know is the reputation I'm getting back is that you are a nasty, nasty piece of work. And apparently you're in some book about gangsterism in West London or something that a character called Ishmael wrote, who I am familiar with him, but, different stories for different days. But I know that guy through kind of activism and just being on the scene. I don't know him personally as a friend, the guy who wrote the book, but apparently he's in this book all about badmanism in West London back in the day, All Saints Road and whatever on the line. And some would say he didn't deserve to be in there because he wasn't really a gangster. But these women were definitely scared of him, and they would be, wouldn't they? Because if you're walking around one night and somebody comes along and puts a knife in your back and says, keep walking, you understand? You are going to be terrified of that person for life, more than likely, especially if it's suppressed because you had to suppress it, because you belong to a community that would have blamed you anyway and upheld him because he was a face. All of the same rubbish, why we do what we do. It's time we started talking. It's time we started taking accountability, or those people started to take accountability for what they have done. And it's as simple as that. That's why we exist. That's why we're here. Who don't like it, jump off. Who's about it, keep talking. Simple as that. I'm going to read one of these things. This was a WhatsApp message that was sent to me. And it says, it's not that I can't be bothered. It's that I don't want to be reminded that it happened. I feel sick thinking about it. You are the only person I have ever told because I'm so embarrassed and sickened by that Franklin Scully who raped me. Yes, I blame myself as I allowed him to come to my house, but only because he had been talking for a while. We had been talking for a while online, and I knew other people knew him. I can't relive that again. Even typing this is hard. I have too much going on right now. This would just add to it. And we are in touch with that sister. So yeah, that sister is, we don't want her to relive that if she doesn't want to, but she's given full permission for that to be read out. So that's the level, of damage. Can you imagine having to walk around with that? And this sister is adamant. This happened sort of maybe 10, 15 years ago. So it's not even that long ago. He's still at it. As far as I'm concerned, that's recent history with this man, And there's another one. It's this is by email. Oh man, brace yourselves, my brothers and sisters, because it's just deep. This is the individual we're talking about, Franklin Prosper, aka Scully of Ladbroke Grove. Just so there is no mistake. Apparently, when I called him out the first time, he was walking around, people going, "Oh no, it's not me. There's loads of Scullys around London." Well, you're Franklin Prosper of Ladbroke Grove, aren't you? So it is you actually. And I was talking about you the first time. I'm talking about you now. These men, they all follow the same MO. Maybe you'll jump up and try to sue me for defamation like the Clarks or something. Unbelievable. The Clarks are going to get nowhere with that, even if they think they are, because I don't have litigation at the moment and I'm handling things myself. And I think they think that's a plus for them. But let's see what happens on court day, innit? It's as simple as that. Let's see what happens on court day, because it's all a bunch of foolishness, my brothers and sisters. It really is. So this is from another one of Scully's victims, aka Franklin Prosper, and it says, further to our telephone conversation, as requested, I am outlining as per below my previous experience in my younger days in the 80s. Please can you ensure that my name and details is not revealed for obvious reasons. With regard to me, as I have never disclosed this with immediate close family friends, thank you. History. In the 1980s, I was walking to a friend's house in Ilbert Street. So the same address again, coming up. I was walking to a friend's house in Ilbert Street, West 10, W10, when I was approached by Prosper. So that's approached by Franklin Prosper, aka Scully, as he was called and named by then. So maybe he wasn't called Scully by then. His name is Frank Prosper, better known as Scully. An acquaintance of his was also with him by the name of Mobo or Mobo. I don't know how you pronounce that. Put a one up if you know that guy, Mobo. So Mobo was with Scully when they approached his sister back in the 80s, okay? This Mobo has since deceased. Prosper approached me and was talking to me on a normal basis. Whilst walking and talking, he demanded that I walk a different direction towards some flats, which I have never seen before, never been to before. At that time, in all honesty, I was a shy young girl and I felt threatened by his demand, but started to walk the other way. I recall thereafter a sharp itch to my back. When I realized that a sharp object was pressing on my back, Prosper ordered that I walk towards those flats whilst walking behind me with his then friend. This is Mobo that is now deceased. With his then friend. I remember it was a cold and dark evening and there was nobody around. It was an airy, chilling feeling and I was very scared. I recall saying that I was going to get in trouble by my mum as I had not contacted her for the day. This fell on deaf ears. I was marched up some stairs, I remember on the top floor, and Prosper opened the door. I was pushed in and shoved on a wall in the hallway. Nobody was inside. Mobo was at the front door and did not enter. Prosper demanded that I take off my underwear, while still holding what I saw was a medium-sized knife. I realized it was this tool that he had held to my back. I remember crying and feeling ashamed as I was on my heavy period. Prosper pulled my underwear down and saw what was inside. I only recall that Prosper did not go any further at that point, and he started to swear at me and let me go. I ran past Mobo and down the stairs feeling relieved, but very frightened to this day. I have never walked around that area since. I've been informed since that Prosper raped a friend of mine, revealed to me personally by her, to which I cannot disclose her details. Prosper was known in the Paddington area as a rapist. I do hope he gets exposed for destroying women's lives and or leaving many with a long bad experience in life, and those who may have gained mental illnesses by their unfortunate experience. Also, to those who he may have taken their virginity by force. I was fortunate to not have been raped by Prosper. Where do you go with that? Yeah, that's just a sister that got away, who knew of another sister that was raped. And I know of another sister that was raped, and another sister that was raped, and another sister that was raped. You know, back in the 80s, I don't think Crime Watch would have been picking up things like that. But I say to the sisters of Franklin Prosper, the victims of Franklin Prosper, rather, just like I did with the victims of Rat, DM me. There is the Instagram DM, the new one. All right, whatever you've been given before or used to before, use that one now. DM me, even if I never tell this story on here, even if we have to, as we have done with some of the Rat victims, work in the background to try to keep you safe. Even if we have to do that, DM me. You need to release yourself from that burden, from that secret that you've been carrying. Perhaps your family doesn't know. Perhaps your children don't know. You've gone on to have children. Perhaps your partner, your husband doesn't know. You know, if you're not ready to tell them, that is entirely your choice, my sister. But tell somebody, you know, tell us. We will hear that story. We will put you in touch, perhaps if you want that, with other women that have been through the same thing. And slowly, little, like we're doing with Rat, we will formulate a case for you. If you want to be involved in it, fair dues. It depends, you know, you just have that conversation and then you can look at your options, but don't keep that secret. Don't allow this man to walk through the community as if he is a pillar of the community, denying his wrongs, denying what he did. This isn't a one-off. This man was a serial, dangerous rapist, a risk to women, I was even speaking to somebody as well, who was telling me about a robbery or something that they were involved in. And, you know, during this robbery, some of the victims were tied up and things, like lots of different robberies were happening with that individual involved. And there was one thing that happened where some woman was burnt in her genital area with cigarettes. And the other guys in the robbery actually really believed that that individual was the one to have done that. They didn't see it. They didn't, you know what had happened until the police told them, probably started questioning them about it. But they seriously believed that that individual was the one who done that. So obviously, you know, if it's the case, I don't know. I'm just reporting what I've been told. But if it is the case, then that person has got a very, very serious problem, hasn't he? You know, I hope he's stopped. I hope that this thing that he's got going on, wanting to overpower women and rape them, doesn't pathologize itself into, you know, something that becomes homicidal. I really pray that that's not the case. Who knows? Who knows what these people get away with? What I do know is that we've been told a lot, Franklin Prosper, aka Scully, of your atrocities and the rapes that you've put down on your own sisters. Shame on you. Repent. Do not start to come fighting back because of your own ego, telling lies, more lies, trying to defend yourself when you know that you are wrong, like many of them have been doing. Do not do that. Go away and repent. Take yourself away. Some of you have done that. You know, some of you have done that because that is the right thing to do. Take yourself away and beg your God pardon, because that's the only person that can ultimately judge you. And you will be judged. You will be judged. You're here in this mortal coil. You're here in the flesh doing what you are doing. Yeah. Inflating yourself in the way that you do. But you have to have the day of reckoning. We all do. You have to have the day of reckoning. You will not live forever. And when you're an old man, you know, if God spares you that long on your sick bed, you know, you will want to repent somewhere. You will. Better you do it now in the life and live your life clean than trying to do it on your deathbed, like so many of them do. Or sometimes they try and top themselves, like we saw with that guy last week. You know, absolutely unforgivable, disgraceful, disgusting. And at the end of the day, you need to sort your life out, because right now we're going to sort it for you. I'm putting out an appeal to all the victims of Scully from West London to DM me. Let's have him. Let's have him. You understand? Don't think that Rat's thing has gone anywhere. Don't think it's not ongoing. The volume of women that he has violated across the years is going to, you know, over a 40-year period. Do you think that's a quick police case? Do you? Do you think that it's going to take a year or 2 or even 3 to gather that evidence? It took them the better part of nearly 10 years to get Jeffrey Epstein. You understand? Let's hope it doesn't take that long. But there was a lot of victims. There's a lot of people to talk to. Each case has to be investigated individually. That's what everybody needs to realize. And if there's 80 cases, how long do you think that will take? A while. And meanwhile, that person will be walking free, cocksure, you know, very arrogant, like they're cock of the walk, pretending that they're innocent until the day of reckoning. And it will come. Rat's day will come, and it's coming soon. Scully, your day will come too. And I just want the sisters to talk freely, like the sisters of Brixton and South London have. My sisters, Ladbroke Grove, start talking, because this guy, I'm not even giving you all of the details, because those women that aren't allowing me to read their story, that won't come on this platform, are working in the background for us to create a case. So carry on in it. As my dad used to say, fire there must tear them think a cool breeze. And I think that's the case with this brother. He actually believes it, you know. He's in his 50s somewhere, I do believe, possibly early 60s, but somewhere in that zone. Us first generation Windrush type of age, 50s or 60s. And yeah, he's a big man. I mean, look, he's a big grey man. You've seen his picture. Unbelievable stuff. Like I said, I really am not even saying the extent of it, because as I say, some of it we want to keep for police evidence, because that's the way that we work. Everybody thinks that it's about, you know, like some of these people, these little youngers, oh, we've got to flash all the things on the screen. Sometimes we have the autonomy to do that and the permission. And there are other times when we don't, because we realize that it's leading to a very serious police case. So we'll highlight it in order to pull in more victims. Do you understand? And I know they're all in the bushes, all 500 and odd of them. They're watching. Of course they are. But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Bring the video down. It's fine. It'll be around thousands of people by then. It doesn't matter to me. I don't even appeal the videos when they come down, and I could. And I would win, you know? But I don't. I'm like, let them have their little party. For me to sit down and go frame by frame through all these videos is long, and I don't have the time for it. So it doesn't really bother me much. It doesn't bother me much, my brothers and sisters. So that's him. Yeah, he's 61, actually. He's actually 61 years old. I just remembered he's 61 years old is how old he is. And wants the picture up again. No problem, my sister. Here he is. This is apparently a play. I don't know. You guys might want to go and patronize him and see it, but I certainly won't be. Every sinner has a future. Every sinner also has a past. That's who we're talking about. You know, unbelievable, despicable individual by all accounts. By all accounts. And I'm saying that your time is up. Scully, your time is up. You've done it enough times. Those, you know, those eyes, they say, are the window to the soul, right? And I think they say everything, but, you know, that's for people that can see. So that's Scully. I want you sisters to DM me. If you've just joined, there's a new Instagram at Afua.rose69. Please tell me if you've been a victim of Franklin Prosper and you've been too afraid to speak out up until this point. Please, 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 please tell me. All right. That's as much as I can say on him at the moment. I have no doubt we're going to be talking about him going forward, and there's going to be a part 2 and a part 3 when it comes on to that individual there. I have no doubt about that. So moving on again now to Ladbroke Grove. This individual here, this mashmouth man here, Michael Plant. Hey, Michael Plant. Now, I'm told that the world and his brother knows about Michael Plant in terms of, if you're from Ladbroke Grove, you know about the story of Michael Plant being a paedophile and raping his own child, his own daughter. Now, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about Michael Plant raping his own daughter. I'm not from Ladbroke Grove. I did not know. Okay. What I did know is that this man's name kept coming up in my DMs, and it come up twice. Everyone knows when it comes up like that, I work off of, let me wait for the third person. Let me wait for the third person. And hold on just 1 second, because I should have uploaded this before. So I'm going to try and do it now while we're talking. So, you know, I'd never heard of this guy apart from in my DMs until I saw a video. So I saw a video of a man who was also talking about Michael Plant. And I thought, that name sounds familiar. Me and the man who put the video out have been in contact. And it transpires that the man who put the video out, again, I don't know any of them. This is all by coincidence, that I've had women from months ago call the name of Michael Plant. Now, I'm not able to upload it. It says the file attachment is too big. So I'll probably play it for you guys. But this man here, who will explain himself in a minute, you won't be able to see him, but you'll be able to hear him, is the man that alerted my attention, that I would say is the third element that made me start to investigate and talk to people and look down into Michael Plant. Because as I said, a couple of women, two different women completely, one said that she had moved out of London years ago, was victims of his. And I was just waiting to see what would happen, if we'd get another, you know, other people come forward and talk his name as well. And lo and behold, this man did. So listen to what this brother has to say. Now, he's an ex-friend of Michael Plant, and he'll explain himself. But listen to this, my brothers and sisters.
Yes, what's happening? I got my Frontline book this week. When I met Scully up Chelsea and collected my book and had a good look in it, and it was good. The only thing that I can't say was bad, but I didn't like, was I see the name Michael Plant in the book. You understand what I'm saying? Michael Plant is in a few pages, and I didn't like that, because I'm wondering what the fuck is he doing in that book, when, what did he do for the front line except for help the police lock people up, set people up to go to prison, send people to prison for the police and laugh? That's the only thing he did. I mean, you know, this was 40 years ago. But why should I forget? You lot might forget. You lot didn't get nicked because of him. You understand? It's easy for you to hear say, oh, Michael plants the grass, and then forget all about it, and then see him and say hello to him. But I could never forget. Them time there, I remember I did two things. Bugatti in Church Street. That was a shop where they sell suits for £1,200 40 years ago. I licked that shop and got £40,000 worth of gear between me and my posse. And Grants in Golders Green, pure crocodile skin, ostrich skin, lizard skin. We licked that shop and get about £50,000 worth of shoes. Yeah? Michael Plant knew me, I did it, but he didn't know the rest of them that did it with me. So when he sent the police for me, he sent them for me. They didn't know who else did it. They wasn't interested in who did it. And I asked the police if it was Michael Plant that grassed me. They said they don't know him. And then when the same police had no use for him, the same police told me that I was right. It was him, because they never had no more use for him. Time ran out and he wasn't giving them no more information. Right? So that's that. Yeah? Even though back in them days, his daughter, I was the godfather of the daughter. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, the mom knew, Michael Plant knew, and people that was hanging around us at the time knew that I was the godfather of his daughter. And that same daughter ended up making statements against him for rape and sexual abuse and sexual assault. Enough to put him in custody in Wormwood Scrubs prison, remanded in custody for rape and sexual abuse of his daughter. Years later. Do you understand? I mean, could that be a mistake? Do you think that, you know, maybe he didn't do it? I mean, why would his daughter make a statement enough to put him in prison, on remand, in custody for rape and sexual abuse? Why would she do that? I mean, you can get off, you can, have her terrorized that she don't go to court and you get off, but you do the maths. Did it happen? Are you a fool to believe that it didn't happen? Right? But if I never did anything as a godfather to help her in my life, I'm doing it now with this name and shame. Yeah? So whether you believe it or not, he did it. I'm telling you. And he was an informer as well. Right? Right. So that's all I have to say.
Big and serious, straight up. That's all the man has to say. This is the godfather of the child that he raped, and was remanded in custody for that. I believe he was charged, and it was down to the mother who dropped the charges. I'm not quite sure how that worked in those days, but she clearly had an influence in that by all accounts. So I've been speaking to a lot of different people, my goodness, around these Grove people, the Scully thing, and definitely this individual named Michael Plant. Now I'm going to bring on, let's call her Marissa Donna. I'm going to bring her on now, and she is the ex-sister-in-law of Michael Plant. So she has children with his brother Danny, who was a woman beater, by the way, because I've actually spoken to 2 women today that was associated with him, but we're still kind of catching up with him. All right, so we're really focusing on Michael Plant at the moment. Feedback. Marissa, you're live. Can you hear me? Yeah, you're live. Can you mute the live while you're on the link? We're getting feedback.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I need you to mute the live. I know you're listening to the live on your other device.
Right.
Yeah, mute the live on your phone. Ooh, this is terrible feedback.
Can you see me now better?
I can definitely see you, but I can't hear you.
I'm actually really near.
No, your connection is terrible, sis, man.
Hold on a minute. I don't even have. I'm trying to look to him.
My sister.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear now?
Right. Yeah, lock off your phone. Yeah.
No, I'm actually on the tablet.
All right, hear what you do for me, okay? Listen. Jump off. It seems like maybe your laptop's not working well. Because I know you're working from your laptop, aren't you? Jump off, lock off the laptop, and get on your phone. You've got the link on WhatsApp, haven't you?
I'll do that right now.
Yeah, do that right now for me, and then come back in that way, okay? Yeah, let's come back, sis. All right, good. Whew, that was a lot. Yeah, I think it's 2 links or something, 2 devices, but this happens, doesn't it? Let me not put the link out. Yes, another window open with the laptop playing. I think that could be it. Hopefully she'll join us back quite soon. But this Michael Plant, my goodness. I mean, this is a nonce. No different to Punray, who thought he wanted to nonce his own daughter. I mean, where do you go and where do you start with these individuals? Walking amongst us, it's just, man's in his 60s. There's a whole lot going on there. And also, yeah, that's it. I was just remembering. This individual allegedly raped his own sister, and his sister had to run away to America, basically, because of it, or she was sent away maybe by the family. There's a lot of complicity within this family. Let's see if this works now. Sister's back. To run away to America, basically.
Hey.
Sent away. Sis, you're still...
Can you hear me now?
We've still got feedback, sis. You must... Maybe you've still got the YouTube on. Have you still got the YouTube on?
Yeah, no, it's all off. Can you hear me now, loud and clear?
Have you still got the YouTube on, sister?
It's on a different channel, but it's on something else, a different platform. Shall I turn it off completely?
You don't have the YouTube on?
Not on my phone, no. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're just breaking up like crazy. Have you got bad coverage where you are?
I know why. Hold on. You still there?
That's better.
I know why. Wait. I know why.
Okay.
Can you hear me a lot better now?
I can hear you wonderful now.
Right, hold on, darling. You can hear me, see me, everything?
It's when you put your camera on, actually, it goes weird. When you turn your camera off, it's better.
No, it was on a different mode. That's why. But can you hear me loud?
Can't hear you. You sound like a Dalek.
Okay, so that means I've got to come off.
Turn your camera off, sis.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
That might work.
Is that better?
Wow, that's perfect. Perfect.
Okay. But you can hear me, yeah?
We can hear you really well now, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Yes, my darling.
Yeah.
Right. What a thing.
Mm-hmm.
What a thing. And like I said, I've come across that man. He's not a very nice man.
Can you just introduce yourself to everybody? Tell them who you are.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My pseudonym, that's the one, innit? Is Marissa.
Yeah, but you can tell them like how you know these people and whatever.
All right. My pseudonym now has been given to me by Marissa Dunner. So I said, you know what? Let me just use that name there so they will know exactly who I am when I am talking. Yeah? Right. I used to be with Michael's brother, Danny, years ago when I was a young girl, when I was 16. And I was with him on and off up until I was in my 20s. My late 20s, then on and off until whatever. Got 3 children with the man. And yeah, it wasn't the best of relationships. Actually, it was the worst of the worst. Growing up now, understanding relationships. Do you know what I mean? It was absolutely hurt. And for a guy who was 4.5, nearly 5 years older than me, he had nothing to teach me, nothing to show me, nothing to help me with. Do you understand? And the whole family was more or less the same. But when that story broke out in the early 90s, I was around them times. And from when I was even having my first one in 1989, I come across the Michael, like, he was all right. Like, I wasn't aware of anything, what was going on. You know, I just remember I was being there. The sister wasn't there. She was in America. She was in America at that time. Nobody told me why. Nobody said anything to me. I was totally oblivious. I had my child. She was growing up. And then a couple of people say to me, you need to like kind of watch them people there around your people, them car. They're not very nice people. Yeah. I'm like, okay. But I've got certain family in Grove. I was raised in the Grove when I was a little child growing up. Do you know what I mean? I went to primary school and that round there. Got family ties. My friend them still live round there. I'm still tight with a few of the people them round there. That's my foundation. And when I say foundation, I'm talking about friends, what I've been friends with mine for 47, 48, them kind of years. Do you understand what I mean? So it's not no wishy-washy people we're dealing with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, the rumours started to circulate from in the 90s. I didn't hear it from the family. It was people on roads.
Yeah.
The mum died around 1991.
Mm-hmm.
But before the mum died, 1991, the sister came back from America.
Right.
I remember one day I was around the table in the kitchen and was talking. And the kids was there because I used to be around the kids. I used to look after the kids. The same one what got troubled and everything. I used to be around her. I used to be around her brother. They used to be around my mum. They used to be around me. Everything was kind of sweet. But the little girl was a bit kind of different. But in hindsight now, we can see and understand why. You know, she is a victim, but he's turned her into a very sad
Because you've had a lot of
kind of person.
difficulties, but
I've
you've
had pure difficulties recently since that video came out. What Millionaire done, and everybody saw it and know about it. That had nothing to do with me, but I'm getting blamed for the backlash of when the rumor circled. Like I said, let me go back to the kitchen, the dining room table, and they was having and I asked, what's going on? What are you talking about? Because them times he was in jail. The dad was in jail. Michael was in jail. He done a little spell in there. I don't know how long. I didn't really care because it's not my cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? But the family wasn't a talkative family. They kept everything in house. And at the time,
like so many of us did in those days, yeah.
Right. Somebody else was one of the other people was involved, what knows the people, as you know, got children and that with them and whatever. They was around, you know what I mean? They saw the like funny behavior. They never really gelled. I never really gelled. I took myself away, you know. I still was with Danny, but I didn't really have anything really to do with the family. What for? And then mum died, so really what for? The house went, then really what for? You know, so I was still at my own gaff, looking after the children, doing what I had to do. You know, they would still come and be around me and whatever. And then, like I said, I went away and I didn't see them for a little while. That was because somebody said to me, listen, that man's troubling the daughter. Keep your daughter away from... I said, what? Yo, you're too nice for all of that. You don't come from that kind of territory. You don't have them things they're running in your family. Take it. So I took my child away. I took myself away. You understand what I'm saying? If the dad took her to see the family, then yeah, he'll take her. And I had another little baby at the time. It was a nice, happy little family. You know, like I said, I took myself away when the mum died. The house, everybody separated. Everybody went their own way. Nobody was interested in me and my kids. Me a harbor and yard in. We don't give a fuck. I don't care. I can do what I'm doing. Me and my family, we're not big friend like that. We look after our own, innit? So that's how it was. We looked after our own. So this little girl now, the one what got troubled, she's starting to give me a lot of stick now since that video come out, because it's a case of I'm the one who's exposing all of this, and I went to Millionaire. I made the video. I'm the one who's doing all of the talking. Are you fucking mad? I stopped talking to the girl 26 years ago. We had our own little beef where I was helping her out, looking after her friend. She done something. She went to prison because that's how it affected her. She was doing all kinds, and she went to prison from an early age. Yeah? And she was older than her friend at the time. Okay, fair enough. I looked after the friend. Friend's here. Friend's not being cooperative. Friend's not doing what I'm telling her. I'm telling the girl here, a job for you. She don't want to go. Here, I'll put you in college. She don't want to go. I got you in church. What the fuck do you want me to do that? Yo, you know what? You can't stay here. Buff bath. Cut a long story short.
Sis, can we try and keep the swearing to a minimum? We don't want YouTube to take down the video, yeah?
Right. So, like I said, I'm getting heated because of what I'm going through. I
I
apologize.
understand. I
But like I
understand.
said, so anyway, she had to go, she went. And whatever discussion they had between themselves 26 years ago, where we stopped talking, I didn't really care. This has now come out. I'm the one who's getting the blame for letting out this information. What are you talking about? I wasn't there. She's hacking into Facebook, sending all kind of messages, being derogative to my about my kids. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm like,
So you've been
really?
through a hell of a lot.
I've been through a lot. And I'm an
And
innocent person because everybody knows. And you've spoken to other people what's told you about this from months ago. It's got nothing to do with me. But from the past 2 months, from August to now.
but you know what?
It's
It's not easy because you've got to kind of operate in a double think. On the one hand, you know that the reason sisters are attacking you and whatever is all to do with her issues rather than what's actually really going on. And
right.
sometimes when people are in that situation where they're not actually, you know, it's called Stockholm syndrome.
Okay.
Stockholm syndrome is where it was taken from like people in hostage situations.
Okay.
And some experts found that sometimes when people are held hostage for long enough, they can fall in love with their kidnapper or their captive,
Yeah.
you know, their captor,
Yeah.
and defend them so that, you know, the FBI will burst in to try to rescue these people, and they'll actually be fighting with their own kidnappers, the police, because they don't want to go. It's a crazy phenomenon, and it really does affect a lot of the time young people that have been abused, and especially if that abuse is protracted over a long period of time from childhood into adulthood, you'll
Right.
find that
But
it is
I
the
feel
victim that defends the abuser. Do you know what I mean?
true,
And I believe
because
that's what's happening in your case.
hear what happened, right? Because like I said, I went to a house somewhere and I happened to have seen her. And that was the first time in 26 years I actually had a conversation with her. I said, you know what? What actually went down that day? And she told me, da, 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 da. And I said, okay, well, I didn't say that about you, but you know what? I did repeat what I heard, and I didn't realize how much it has affected you growing up over these years, holding a
Right.
26-year-old grudge. So here, what? I'm going to be the bigger woman in this matter and say, you know what? If I offended you and hated you way back then, you was a young girl then, I should have took time kind of, because there's other little bits and pieces involved, you know? Like I explained to you earlier, you get me, Afia? So I said, you know what? I should have handled her different. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, sis.
Okay, yeah. I should have handled the situation different. But like I said, I'm quarter of a century older now from when that took place. So you know what? We happen to have squashed it. My daughters was there. They haven't seen their cousins for a long time. Her daughters was there. They met as cousins, whatever. Okay, we got invited to a family party. We went as a family. We got invited to another family party. We went as a family. Do you understand what I'm saying? The reception was not,
Yeah.
it was all good. And then this video came out. So as soon as this video's come out now, where my guys happen to have come across the book, Millionaires, read the book. He didn't like what he was reading in the book, like he said. He
This is
started
just for the
to
sake
look.
of the viewers. This is the video that I just played. I didn't play the video, but I played the audio from it. You're talking
Right.
about that guy, Millionaire, aren't you?
Yes, I am. So he's talking about his truth and what's going on and whatever. I'm innocent to this. I'm now getting WhatsApp messages. I'm getting attacked. I'm getting messages put on my old Facebook and all of that. You're friends with him. So because you're friends with him on Facebook, You're the perpetrator. It was you and this one and that one's plotting against me. You're this, you're that, you're that, you're this, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're this. The same people, I'm very father, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that, you're doing this. Yes, da, da, da. And I'm like, wow. Gone back to everybody, yo, this is, and they're like, yeah, she's mad. She's attacking us as well.
But to
I'm
me,
like,
that's a classic reaction of somebody who's panicking. You know, they just start lashing out left, right, and center. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm trying hard.
I know it's
and
hard.
It's
hard to
my
receive
people
that.
that's on the live, and a lot of people are like, what the? Because I haven't spoken or said anything about what's going on. Do you know what I mean? I just hold my cross, carry it, bear it, do whatever. But this is getting too much now where I'm thinking on different levels now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to remember, okay, she is a victim. At the same time, she is a bit tapped. At the same time, there's other personal things. She said what bothered her when she was little, where she thought I left her out. I didn't include her as much as her sibling. And so, okay. So we're getting to the foundation of, it started way before whatever you and your friend conjured up and said, and then you went back to my children's father said whatever you said and whatever, and it caused the big explosion and whatever. But the bomb settled. Do you know what I mean? After the explosion, the bomb settled. What happens after that? You clear the rubble, and then they start building back the town again, don't they? All right.
Absolutely.
So, what did you really achieve and accomplish in all of that?
That would be if you were reasoning, you were rational. But if you're in a state of high angst and panic because you haven't confronted your demons or you haven't confronted your trauma, then that's not going to be a consideration. What you're saying is just going to be reaction, and the wrong reaction most of the time.
Well, I'm trying hard not to give the wrong reaction, because I don't think they want to send people to jail. You know, they don't like seeing people looking good. They don't like seeing people living good. They don't like seeing people up and down doing their thing and getting on with their life and not bothering a soul. They don't like none of that, especially when they haven't got as much as you.
I think, unfortunately, what it is that, you know, in my experience of dealing with people that are in trauma, the closest people to them are the people that they'll lash out on. The people that usually have been in their corner quite a lot, actually, are the people they tend to lash out on. And I think in this situation, it sounds to me as if you are that person, because you, like you said, you've been there for them. You know, you kind of part grow them, if you like.
Come on.
So it makes sense. It makes sense to me, but it's not going to make sense.
Around the sibling until they cut that tie too. Now I'm talking about the mom. I've said horrible things about the mom. I'm like, what? I only just started chatting to the woman a couple of years back. Her mum died. My mum knew her mum. We went to the funeral. La 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 la. Went to her 60th birthday party. La 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 la. It was all good. Do you understand what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, in this story that I've been hearing from you and quite a lot of other people, and, you know, looking at different things that I've been sent, I blame number one, the nonce, Michael Plant, and number two, the mother.
Definitely too.
Because it was the mother that, I'm not saying she didn't believe her daughter. I've not heard that she didn't believe or did believe.
Well, she died. Like, the poor thing had cancer and was going through cancer. We didn't know. When we found out mum had cancer, she died within
I don't mean the mother of, I don't mean Mrs. Plant. I mean the baby mother of Michael Plant, the mother of
her too, because when all of that was going on, she was still having children and having children and having children for this.
So hold on, let me get this right. Your daughter, not yours, but this lady's daughter, makes an allegation against her father and says that she's been raped by him from the age of 10, I do believe.
That's what I got to hear the other day. I didn't even know it was from.
Well, I heard that from when I spoke to a few people. That was the consent
Yeah, they said she was young. Yeah.
from around that time, and this continued. So, as the
I
mother
don't know
of
what
that
age it
child,
stopped at, you know. I
well,
don't know
as the
what
mother
age
of
it
that
stopped
child,
at.
you've got no excuse
I
to
don't
still
know.
be with that man and still be giving him more children to abuse, having more babies for him.
Maybe I don't know. Catholic, maybe they don't believe in
I
contraception.
don't know what that is, but I know you should have
No.
taken your children and leave and made sure that that man went to justice. The police had enough on him to put him on remand and to charge him. He was awaiting trial, wasn't he?
Babe, so them said so. It seemed to be.
That's what I
And
have
then him
been.
come out a road, and like I
That's
said,
what's been revealed. But look,
when
if
he
someone
come
drops
out
the
a road,
charges in those days, you're walking free.
oh, is that
Nowadays,
what
the
it was?
laws have
No,
stepped up that if the police still have enough evidence, with or without the victim going forward, they're still gonna go forward. That's what it is
okay.
now. He would be Nick now. In those days, from the victim wasn't cooperating, it would all get dropped.
Yeah.
So that's how he was able to walk free and continue to abuse people's children.
Okay.
You know, one of the women that I've spoken to, he abused their daughter, not her.
Wow.
Do you understand? He's a
Yeah.
grade A paedophile.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And what I would say to the family is you
I
have a
might
moral
see it as
responsibility to the rest of your community to make sure that your loved one, because you love him, he's allowed to just walk around and do it to everybody else.
I remember when I was younger, he threatened to give me a free abortion and kick out my baby out of my belly. My firstborn, he's talking, you know.
This
I
is
said,
your baby
Michael.
father's brother,
Yeah,
Michael.
Michael. Yeah. I was like, is it? I was
So
like,
he threatened you to give you a
is
free
that
abortion by
yeah,
kicking your baby out of your
kick
belly.
out my belly out of my
Surely.
belly. I said, is it? You see, when I went to the All Saints Road there, and I went round to McGregor Road. Certain people know McGregor Road. Certain people knew who lived at McGregor Road, which was a notorious, very heavy bloodline, direct family member of mine, what lived on McGregor. Really. When I had to say what I had to say, and I went back home my house, and he said, what me have to say? Is it my mother said, make him try. I said, yeah. And then, like I said, I stopped talking to them for a very long time to be before I have to come and beg it back. It has to come with a full apology to me. What? You think my people them never met that have to come and apologize?
I'm sure. But you know, when you were around, sis, let me ask you, when you were around, did you ever see anything that made you, I'm not saying like see what he was doing with his daughter, but was there anything in his character that you picked up on that you thought, hold on a minute,
yeah. Like, yo, that man is something like 14 years older than me. What talk have I got for a big man like that? But I know this much.
So he was bringing in young girls when you were around. You saw that?
No, he wasn't. No. I never saw that kind of behavior. You understand? Because he had an older woman who I was friends with. She died now. Sharon Asher it was. And he ended up having a child with her too. And yeah. I used to see him like go to Tump Up Hat. My two eyes. I go to
in terms of domestic violence and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I was just wondering if you saw any evidence of him.
She's dead now. She's dead. So them times they was on Westbourne Park Road. That's where she lived. So certain people know some not telling a lie. Certain big people come through and say she's not telling no lies whatsoever. You get me? But the mistake you made, my man, was when you threatened to say you're gonna kick out my youth. My youth, really, she's here. She's here. She's still here. Kick out what?
So I just want to pick up on this comment that I've seen. This person called T. He says, or she says, I can see bare gunplay and murders going to go on in 2023 because of all this exposure. Thanks to Afua Rose. Are you stupid? Are you stupid?
That's a
Any
shut
gunplay
down
that's going on
man.
in our community is because of the people that sell drugs in our community and go on like they're Al Capone. That's the gunplay. Look at the prediction that despicable individuals like this T person, look at the prediction that they're giving. What would you prefer? Would you prefer if every woman just started being quiet again and the man them could roll with impunity and wreck their lives? We are highlighting what happens 20, 30 years later, long after you people have forgotten what you've done. Do you understand? You make me sick to my very stomach. I hate
Well,
people
some
like
of
that.
them, some of
Oh,
them,
Afua
some of
causing
them,
gunplay.
some of them.
Really?
Well,
No
the
one
one
was,
who made
was
that
barking
comment.
when all these black brothers are killing their one another. You
Well,
understand? They're nowhere to be seen. They're part of
the
it.
one what made that comment there, I can only say, you know what? Yeah, but and it's because these people started it first, and they've got to remember, even though you're the victim and tear, there's certain people what ain't holding the disrespect you're giving and you're showing because we're not cut from that cloth. You
The
understand what I'm
gunplay,
saying? There's a lot of people involved in this, like I said, and some people are not happy. Said, man, put there are other people's daughters too. So if people want to start getting mad, and people's like, you know what? People said they're gonna do this. People said they're gonna do that. People said they're gonna box up people when they see them. She's saying, she's trying to encourage domestic violence.
but
She's
why?
trying to
For the
encourage
speaking of the
domestic.
truth. The
I
only
don't know what the
gunplay,
truth is, but it's not me.
the only gunplay that should be going on, is against the paedophiles in our community.
That's what we're saying.
So,
That's what
and I
we're saying.
don't even advocate that, by the way. Let me just make that absolutely clear. These people need to go to a court of law and be sent to prison. That's what needs to happen. The jungle justice thing, right. You understand me? I'm not into that. But if they're talking about, people are going to go out and kill us, we get enough of it. The point I'm making is that people like T are part of the problem in the community. And it's like some great one amongst us once said, if you're not a part of the solution, then you're a part of the problem. And it's as simple as that, really. We are talking about pedophiles, perpetrators, woman beaters, and rapists. These are not people that we want in our community. I don't own them. I don't see them as part of our community. And we need to expel them. Leave your outrage for that. And stop trying to tear down what we're doing, because the outrage should be against these perpetrators, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it's against them perpetrators.
It should be against them. It shouldn't be against us for speaking the truth.
No, it's not about the people. It's not about us telling the truth. But like I said, when people's going out there and they're getting some different kind of scandal and they're posting all kind of foolishness, and my people them sending this and we're looking and we're laughing because it's just like but at the same time there's a lot of hurtfulness in it, because I'm not saying nothing what went down, Afua, but you've seen receipts, you got receipts. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, everyday people, they won't put up with that. You remember, we're the minority trying to do something right,
And by all accounts as well, from a lot of people that I've spoken to, there is a fear. Obviously, nobody knows for sure, but there is a fear that this relationship is actually still going on, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's a fear of that. And if it is a real case of Stockholm syndrome, and it's a real case of that cognitive dissonance that takes place,
what do we do?
Victims, then I think we all have a responsibility to make sure that sister is free. Because if you've been socialized that way, sexualized that way, conditioned that way, we know cases where that goes on for the entire adult life of that individual and started when they were 5.
Well, they're in their 40s now. They're big people. They're in their mid-40s now.
Especially
they're in their mid-40s.
Their father. And it feels, I don't want retribution for this sister. I really don't. What I want is for this man to be brought to justice, and anybody that is around him that knows this is going on, whether it's family members or the mother of this girl, you know, you've got to do the right thing. How do you sleep at night? You've got to do the right thing and go to the police. And you know, it would be a open and shut case overnight if brother, sister, cousin, friend, the victim herself, the mother of the victim, all went to the police and bagged him. It would be an open and shut case, I'm telling you, because you would have enough evidence there. Do you understand? It would be an open and shut case. But the complicity, the refusal to speak, I'm not even blaming the victim, because I know that that's how some victims are left with their trauma. They're not able to do that. Do you understand? I'm blaming those around the victim, those who were adult carers at the time, those who are still keeping that
She's
secret.
traumatized. She is traumatized. She's traumatized.
Traumatized people act out, you know, sis.
She's a
Traumatized
troublesome
people become
soul, babe.
perpetrators themselves.
She's a troublesome soul, and she's really, really angry.
Of course.
Stalker angry. Make angry.
And what are the ways, some of those ways you think that this evil man, Michael Plant, has affected his own daughter? What are some of those ways?
Well,
what are the ways that have impacted you? I'd have to say, because you've got your own kind of trauma story within this as to the way you've been treated.
Right.
In this unit, yeah.
Right. I've always been an outsider to the job, always. Always. So you know what? I enjoy being an outsider. I've kept being an outsider. I've been minding my own business for 26 years. And look now people's trying to draw me back in for something what happened over 30 odd years ago, 30, 40 years ago.
And something that they tried to speak out about, to the point where the perpetrator, namely the father, was charged and on remand awaiting trial. Because that person's mother is the person that stopped that from happening. Obviously, that's driven the anger even further into that child, but somehow it's been displaced on you, isn't it?
Well, that's the only way you can put it.
So that's the point. The question I was asking, can you tell us some of the ways that that's impacted on you, some of the things that has happened between you guys?
Well, it's the abuse, isn't it? And I don't handle abuse well, because I know what I want to do. But at the same time, if I play into your hands, you're not going to win in this situation and I'm going to lose. Do you understand what I'm saying? If anything, I'm going to win and you're going to have to give up whatever you're giving up. Because you know what? I didn't air your dirty laundry. Your dirty laundry's been aired. It's been something what's been aired for a very long time. Remember, the man speaking is her godfather. He stand up in the church, you know. He hold the baby while her head was getting wet by the priest. You know them ones there. He lit and held the candle and vowed that he will look after the picnic until thy kingdom come, until he take his last breath. He stand in the church and make that vow, you know, Baba. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if he feels, say, the man done him a wrong and other people, because it's not just him, apparently, it's other people. It's other people. It's other people. There was the next one. He's dead now. Anti-sober, anti-man sober. One little coolie Indian one. He was a dirty bitch as well.
Oh, anti-man, I heard about him. I've had a couple of DMs about him, but like you said, he's passed. So there wasn't a lot I could do, but it sounds like he was a very nasty piece of work.
And they was all friends.
Interesting, that, isn't it? It's the same thing with Rat. All the people that were wrong-uns in the area tended to...
they was all in one base. Anywhere off that All Saint Road, Paris Square, like Westbourne Park Road, like anywhere around there, round up to Harrow Road, anywhere around them sides.
That whole demographic around there. Crazy. And so many women that are silent in West London, not being able to talk out. Why do you think that is, sis?
Good luck to them. I don't know about them, but I know something about me, and my people them know me. I don't trouble nobody.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing. My kids them don't do nothing. Yeah. So why are people attacking me? You understand? These people opening up their eyes, looking. I don't want my people looking at me in a different light and they know that I don't associate myself with these people. They know. My friends are sitting down here. They're listening to this, like me and you now talking on all platforms. And they know I don't associate myself with that side of the family at no time at all. The one affiliation I had, what was with the brother, he wasn't even affiliating or mixing himself with them. He
At
was
the
one what
time.
was nomad. He'll come and go as he pleases.
This
We
is
had
Danny Plant, isn't it?
no, that's the nephew. The nephew,
Oh, okay, the
the
nephew.
brother.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Michael's son. But that's
Okay.
he don't even associate himself as being the son.
So he believed the allegations all along, did he?
I don't know. I don't know what they knew or what they was told growing up in their house, babe.
Right.
You understand what I mean? I can't answer that question. All I know is I'm getting a backlash for something that everybody knows. I didn't do nothing. I didn't start no rumor. I didn't spread no rumor. All of this was out in the open. I found out years after,
After the fact. Right.
Years after the fact. But like I said, mum died, the granny died. What am I hanging around for? It wasn't warm, loving, open arms in that corner there. What am I hanging around for? I come from a family. What is we're more loving and bonding and together. Like, why am I gonna leave my happy family to be in misery? Because that's what it was like for me.
Right.
My kids were little.
In their house, basically. The grandmother
Around
and
them,
around the whole
them
family.
as a whole. So what am I being around you for? And you're not no bonus to me. I'm not.
But you were saying as well that they're a very closed family, like all the atrocities go on within the family unit.
Listen,
and they protect those atrocities. That's what I say we need to break down and tear down.
I can't speak Pat what even I'm Jamaican, this and shit. I can't speak Pat what I can pick up some of the little cussing words and crack joke and whatever, but in a full-blown conversation and whatever, I can't keep up. So when they used to talk majority of the time, I could never really understand. You can get a vibe when they're talking about you though. You know them ones there.
I've been there. Yeah, I understand.
You get that vibe, but you ask your partner what they're saying, whatever. Oh, nothing. I'll come, let's go downstairs. And that was what it was like. All right, I'm going downstairs now. Good night, everybody. Bye. And that was what it was like. In my house, it was different. It was love. It was happiness. It was everybody crack joke. We're playing games, doing this, we're doing that. Doors knocking. You understand what I'm saying? It was a different vibe. A different energy.
So really, I mean, you've got more experience of the impact and the damage that Michael.
I've been carrying this blame thing and everything and this hatred this girl has got for me. Listen to me, Cyberland, the public. Yeah, I'm talking now. This is something what has been festering and growing. It's like a little seed's got planted, and imagine you put a seed in a pot and you water it and you grow it and you nourish it, and for 26 years, how big is that plant going to be?
Huge.
So that's how much the hatred has grown.
But it's completely displaced hatred. Somebody put up earlier that that sister's carrying her father's shame, and that can turn a person this way. It can become deeply entrenched in them and start to express itself in very negative ways. Don K. Ruler says, as a social worker in South London, You cannot imagine how many of these thugs carrying guns I work with who have been touched by that cousin or family friend.
or family.
Absolutely. All these
Yeah.
bad men and killing each other and wanting to harm women and all sorts is because of their own abuse at the hands of the same men and women. Let's not forget there are so many female perpetrators. I find
yes.
a lot in the Yardie community are about that. A lot of the women in the Yardie community are about picking up the little boys and abusing them. You know, sexualizing them from an early age. It's just horrendous what's going on. And it's high time that we faced up to it as a community, my sister. It really is.
True.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm.
Leave the people them picnic them alone.
Leave
the
the
little school as them alone. Leave the school as them alone.
Yeah. Janice Spence says, sounds like there was generational abuse. It went beyond the father raping his daughter and sister. I would definitely say so. There's something else. Fully blocked soul. Yes, there's a Ray. I would say so too, because there's nobody that just, you know, babies don't just are not just born as pedophiles, perpetrators, you know, all of these things. Yeah, Dorette Lewis has made a good point, actually. She says she thinks that the daughter hates you because maybe she expected you to help her or save her, even though it's irrational and you couldn't have done. But, you know, sometimes people displace that and think, why you were there.
Do you know what, babes?
Do you know
what, babes? Looking back around, because I was around her from, like, if you push the clock back, like 36 years ago. So she was a little girl. Do you understand what I'm saying? And she was close to me. I totally agree.
It couldn't be. It wouldn't be unusual.
Even though I was a young girl myself, you know, like, wow, like
you were still older and you were in a position of an adult where you were with the brother.
I knew a lot of, I had a big family. I knew a lot of people. I had older cousins and aunties and brothers, and like even brothers who ain't my brothers, but they're bigger than me, bigger man than so I maybe, but I just wasn't in the family like that, because I know they was not in me. You understand? And I've got my friends.
And also you were 16. You were a child yourself in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Even though I must have thought I was a little young miss or whatever, I still like came up. But I was a picnic myself. I was still living in my mum's house, and you know what I mean? Like, I had to follow rules and regulation, believe it or not. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
so there's not a lot you could have done, even if you fully knew what was going on.
I took them when I could take them, and I stayed with them, I played with them and whatever. But then I was getting the side eye. Huh? Yo,
I understand.
What's going on over here?
Are those the kids? Sorry.
Huh?
Are you talking to the children?
No. I'm just saying, like, saying, like, what's going on over here? Like, they're looking at me funny because I want to be around the children. So I'm like, you know what? Before, in my head, this is in my head now. In my head, I'm saying, before this turns into like a Michael Jackson, Neverland kind of case, and all that, with McCarthy Creek. Yeah. With them times there, him and the little Home Alone boy, you know, them ones that he was young. I said, let me just kind of disassociate myself. Plus, I got my friends them in the manner. What I go, I check, I be with, I'm around. Even when I was having my youth, I was around them. There's around me. So, you know, like, I was more around my people. What was in the area? I was there. Really,
sorry, just to interrupt you, sis, very quickly. Sorry. Elabe Summers says, how is it that people around this poor child growing up knew and never even tried to protect her? I feel sick in my stomach. This sister didn't know, by the way, Elabe. So, like, let's not get it twisted.
I didn't know.
No, you didn't know till years later, like you said.
Yeah,
but the
years
people
later,
around
I'm talking about a good
the family knew.
The
family knew. The mother knew. Yes, Elabe, and it does make you feel sick to your stomach. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, no, I didn't know none of that, babes. I found out off the road. It was not one family member what came up to me and told me anything what was going on. Not one. Not one. Not one family member came and told me nothing. Not one. Not one family member warned me. Not one family member protected. Not one.
The family members knew what was going on.
Well, they must have.
Of course they did. As Paula Smith says, it's called sweeping it under the black carpet. I like that, P. That's exactly it. Sweeping it under the black carpet, because that's what those Windrush families did. And that's why us now in our 40s, 50s and 60s are starting to tell the tales. They swept it under the black carpet, didn't they? Exactly that. Exactly that. And some people don't like the fact that we're lifting up that carpet and looking at the filth that's under there. Some people don't like that at all. They want that carpet to stay firmly tacked down.
You can't keep one carpet in your yard forever. You have
to go wear out.
Right. Yes, you have to rip that up at some point. And start again.
Queenie 54 says, yes, in JA it's bad. It is bad. A guy said his aunt when he was 11, when I said she should have not been touching you, he said she was showing him to become a man, and he really normalized it. And that is the general reaction, Queenie 54, of Yardman or Jamaican man. They really do. They don't feel abused. They actually believe that they're getting a bringing on a big woman from a young age, and they think it makes them more manly and better at, going forward at being on the job. That's what they believe. And it's just, it makes me, you can just see why it is that they view women in that way, and why they treat women in the way that they do, a lot of those guys, because of these female perpetrators that's feeding up people's boy children, and when Queen Ifrika says they take your daughter and take your son as brata, she means it. But I think she meant men. No one's really talking about the woman that's doing what they're doing, but we don't hear from the men.
Yeah,
because actually they don't believe they've been abused. A lot of them, they see it as a bit of a plus.
Oh, that's how
they don't understand. That's what gives
them. That's how we grow, man. That's how we grow. You get me?
Right? You mean man was dealing with big woman from 10 years old. Yeah, good for you. But not realizing that makes you a nasty chauvinistic pig that treats women really badly.
Right. In the end, in the long run.
In the end, right. So it's all abuse and it's all damage for us.
Yeah.
Regardless, And I would wager that those women that do that actually have been sexually abused themselves at some point by a man. You understand me? For them to be behaving like that, they've become pedophiles. It's what they are. We'd like to hear from the man then. We always say that. We've been barling for that from Instagram days.
Yeah.
I have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got those amongst us that go on like it's their idea, and actually I'm not even doing anything for the men. The men ain't speaking. It is what it is.
We've done a show. I think you've done a show. This must have been around 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
2 years ago. We've only been going 2 years next month.
Yeah, 2 years. 2 years. When you first started. Remember, like I said to you earlier on, like from when you first started. And I think one guy did say that when he was young, a woman did kind of abuse him up and thing, but he didn't really. You said you'll talk to him like off and whatever.
Yeah, I do remember that. He didn't want to go any further with it.
He didn't, did he? Because like we say, it's that wall of shame, innit?
Shame is what's killing this community, Shame. Shame is why our parents were the way they are and why they hid everything. Shame. It's always about the shame. We need to forget all of that. We need to rock up the shame plate, as they say in Jamaica. My mom always used to say to me, you see you, I look at you, shame plate, broke up. That's what she used to say to me. She said I ain't got no shame because I was open. No shame. I didn't want the shame. I didn't want their shame.
Yeah. Keep your shame, blood. What's there to be shameful? No, keep that.
Keep the shame. I don't care. At the end of the day. But my sister, is there anything else you want to add? Because I know that when you were speaking earlier, it's really difficult for you because you've been such a victim of that sister. You've been such a victim of that sister. But at the same time, you're trying to give over that compassion as a mother to know what she's been through and why she is the way she is. But when she's perpetrating on you, it's difficult for you to hold that balance. And we get that.
You got, as the Christians say, give them little prayer.
Give them little
Prayer
prayer.
for them. Give
That's
them
what I
little,
would
give them,
encourage.
give them little prayer.
Mm.
You get me? Let them to cut them. Give them little prayer.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I would suggest, because
Give them
boy,
little prayer.
I cannot imagine. You know, for those of us that had healthy fathers, I certainly did. My daddy was the best man on the planet as far as I'm concerned, and still is. God rest his soul.
There you go.
But I cannot imagine the turmoil, the conflict that you're going to be in if your father deals with you like that. And that man should not be allowed to walk around in the community. He's got brethren. There's people
I
out there
haven't
in West
seen him
London.
I haven't seen that
Is
man
he
for
hiding
decades.
himself? Well, that's good. Yeah, I was told actually he pops up now and again at the odd funeral, and actually he's been quite vilified. But even
What
his
do you mean?
brother,
He's been what?
he's been vilified. Like in some places, people like be side-eyeing him or telling him he can't come around there, and
Really?
things like that. But even his brother, the amount of women that he's beaten up and stuff, what went wrong in that family?
Well, I mean, I know, you know, but you know better than to bring that thing around here. But yeah, babes, I don't know. But yeah, I've been hearing that. Yeah, you see, yeah, it's been dealing with them rough, but in better have sense. That's
And it
all.
would be really good to hear from. It would be really good to hear from the sister. I'm doubtful.
I don't know them people.
I pray that it
babe.
could be the case, but the sister who had to go to America, I mean, what's her story?
I don't know
How
if
is it all left her? I know you don't know, but
I haven't seen
I
them
just
people
asked
for
that
around 30
question.
years. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the people then for 30 years. I haven't seen the man in question for over 20 odd years. I haven't seen the people them, the brother for years.
But you know the original stories. T, you're actually saying something decent. I'm glad I left you in for that. The UK police forces have blood on their hands and not got clean hands due to criminals who they turned into paid informants from the days of the 80s and 90s blues. But too much nastiness used to go on. Absolutely. And that's what we've been talking about from day one. The police are complicit. That's why we march outside Brixton Police Station.
Mm-hmm.
We know your bloody hand in this. We know your bloody hand in this. You allowed these monsters to run rampant in our community because they were giving you information about Yardie drug gangs
and other people, right?
And other people, their neighbors, they grew up around. You know, you allowed that. It just reminds me again of the plantation where you got the house Negroes informing on the field Negroes and what they're planning. Do you know what I mean? They just use the same system, don't they? Over and over and over again.
That's the same thing Millionaire was saying.
And dare we talk about it, because otherwise we're going to be told we're racist or something because we talk about what's wrong. It's a bit like what they're doing to Kanye West. You talk about the wrongs of the Jews and suddenly they shut you down and tell you you're anti-Semitic. You didn't say that there was a problem that you had with Jews. You said there was a problem with what Jewish people were doing.
Right.
Not all Jewish people, of course, but certainly those that run certain shady businesses. Why can't you say? Everyone wants to talk about what black people do, robbing, raping, doing whatever, killing each other. Why can't we do the same? Police are institutionally racist. We all know that now.
Definitely.
But the untold story of the police informants who ran amok in our community and terrorized the women and children and some of the men, that story's never been told. Apart from on this platform. And that's the issue for a lot of people, sis, including the system, you know? But yeah, sister needs prayer. I think you've been strong to give her that grace, my sister. As angry as it makes you from time to time. You don't have to. You're not obliged to, you know, but you've done that. And I would urge the sister to reach out to you and try to heal some wounds.
I don't know about that, you know.
All right, you don't want that, but I would love to see that.
I don't know about that.
I would love to see that, sis.
No, it's not happening. No. When health.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's try and heal then. And
you know what? You know when you can do 26 years without chatting to somebody. I don't know if God have 26 years. Forgive me. You get me? But you know what? In hopefully in the next 26 years, when I'm up in my 70s and my grandpicking them big, I'm picking them stuff. Hear what? I can be at peace. Yeah, I don't need no drama, no passa, as we call it, hinamilai. I don't need them negativities. That's negativity.
I hear that, sis.
You got to
Well,
listen to some of them
hopefully the
tunes. You
healing
gotta
will
let it
take,
go.
hopefully the healing will take place, and both of
Well,
you
I
can
don't care what she does. She better just leave me a note. And
just
like I
leave,
said,
love her from a distance, sister, and you know,
I'm minding my own business over here.
yeah.
So, like I said, I don't see them people there. I'm just clearing up certain things with you and your platform to make them know that this is an ongoing issue. What's happened for how much decades before my even time? You understand what I'm saying? And it's got nothing to do with
And
me and
stop perpetrating on you, basically, because this is Michael Plant's mess, not
it's
yours.
got nothing to do with me.
I hear that, sis. I hear that.
So I don't want my name affiliated or called in nothing. I can stand up and talk for myself. So I'm talking for myself. I never do the girl nothing. I ain't done the family nothing. I don't care about the family. I'm happy within myself in my own life. You understand? There's been no contribution. There ain't gonna be no contribution, and I don't want no contribution. But it's other people calling them out. And like you said, there's more victims and more people. They can give you maybe direct information of what they've had one on one or hand in hand or which direct liaison in. I haven't had a direct liaison in with this man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, I took myself away from him and them around 30 years ago. But
Especially
I
after
still
he threatened to kick your baby out of your stomach.
this was this wait there, but even after that, he still had to come and apologize and Lars his art and try to make amends.
That's once his brother came out of prison and realized he did that, right?
And what are you talking about? You think the brother's got talk for him?
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. Ego, narcissistical kind of brother. You know them ones they're like, he's the oldest one. Who's gonna tell him anything? Who's
So he
who's
had
going to tell
control,
him
really.
anything? Of course they had their own control thing and whatever going on.
Wow. One damaged
So
family. But for the son them to be like that, the grand people
I,
then have to answer for something, because that something must have gone down in that house for your
like I
son to be
said,
so
I
despicable.
don't know. I don't know when they was chatting their pat what I don't know.
All right,
Only
sis.
when you
Well,
know.
you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just pray for healing all round, and I hope that
That's
sister
it.
approaches the bench, as they say, and
Well,
is able to express herself independent of that unit. Because it sounds as if you're still in that unit, entrenched, and you've still got this relationship with your old man, and you're still got having him around your children, even though he broke up with
yeah.
you.
That's
This is a great, grave concern.
that's a different argument. Like
Grave concern, and I can see why people
different
might,
argument.
why there might
Like
be conjecture around whether or not that's still going on. It was a similar thing with, Eamon Edwards. That was the argument, you know what I mean, with one of his daughters.
okay.
But my sister, I want to thank you
Yes,
for
right.
coming on, my sister. Thank you.
Thank you for
And thanks for
having
sharing
me.
your truth with us as well.
Thank
I
you
know it
for
hasn't been
having
an
me
easy
and giving me a
process.
platform
Yes, sis.
for this
Yes,
to
and
get
you've,
the story to be told. Because, like I said, I've had enough. I've had enough.
yeah,
It's got to the point where I've had enough. So, like I said, people's come to you. They said, "Yep, come find me." I came and find you. We
yeah,
was finding each other, so
yeah,
it kind of helped. You know what I mean, sweetheart? But
yeah,
we will catch
absolutely.
up, and
And
we
no,
will
no one
talk.
shouldn't blame you, because I didn't even know about you until I started chatting to other people, and then it came round to you, like you said.
Okay.
So I certainly didn't get this story from you. I got that story. I got the story of Michael Plant from two other women months ago, before Millionaire
Okay.
even put his video out.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when I
Which you know
saw
I wouldn't
Millionaire's
know.
video, I'm
Yeah.
going to repeat it just in case no one's clear. When I saw Millionaire's video, I was trying to think, oh, I'm sure I know that name. And within the same breath, contact was made, and Millionaire and I spoke, and I realized it was the same like Michael Plant in my DMs. And I've started investigating from there, really. Absolutely. And just to point out as well that Michael Plant is also an associate of Franklin Prosper, aka Scully. Everybody grew up in the same area, so they knew each other as well. I wonder if they shared victims. Interesting. Sister, thank you very, very much.
Sister, good night, good night.
Good night, good night. We're going to talk again, okay?
Definitely.
Definitely.
All right, babe.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Blessed love. Blessed
love, sister. Bye.
All right. West London, Ladbroke Grove. There's the stream, people. There's the stream. I hope you've all taken down the new Instagram. Make sure you follow and keep that movement and that solid foundation going. We can build that back. Instagram ain't no big deal. I'm going to upload every single video onto Instagram from the Vincent Rat one all the way down to what we're doing today, so that we've got all that back on that platform. I was actually on this new Instagram looking at it, trying to upload some stuff when it disappeared before my very eyes. And I managed to put in a recovery code that Instagram had sent to me and get it straight back. But I think what happened with the main page is that I was out or speaking to someone on the phone at the time, and I didn't realize the extent of it because they've been doing it all week and I've been getting it back. It looks as if they've actually deleted it now, which is the only thing that Instagram can't remedy, is if that person goes in, hacks your thing, and then deletes it. So whoever's done it has done that. I've no doubt that they're probably linked to some of these pedos. Your ass is going to burn in hell. It so is. Whether you believe in hell or not, you understand, whatever your expression is, you will spend the rest of eternity in a dark place, a place that you won't be able to get out of, whatever that looks like for you. There's the link, my people. Is it on? There we go. Oh no, that's Paula's. Oh. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Don't forget to like before you log out, family. Sorry, where did I put my link? Oh, here it is. There we go. There's the StreamYard link if anyone wants to jump on and have their say. Let's see what happens. If not, we are going to wrap it up for tonight. 2.5 hours nearly coming up. It's just such a travesty when I heard the stories of how the young sister's been left in terms of her father's wickedness towards her. I don't say that people who behave in this way, I don't believe they can be redeemed, because I think once your sexuality is set, it is set. But to see some remorse out of an individual, someone who was disgusted with their own behavior and tried to seek help, you might have a bit of compassion for that person, because you realize actually you're sick, you're not well, but at least you don't want to be the way you are. But when they swan around denying it 24/7, perpetrating further, trying to convince everybody that the victim is actually lying, it just makes me sick. And for me, there is no mercy for those type of people. Psalms 91 says that there was someone saying it's lies about Scully. Yeah. Suddenly, is he a rich man? I don't think he is. Is he a famous man? I don't think he is. Is there anything to gain from all these women coming forward about Scully? I don't think there is. So why would they do that all these years later? Why would they? Suddenly, there's a platform where they actually can start to speak their truth, and they're coming out in their droves. Prior to this, there was nowhere for them to go apart from the little whisper, maybe with their best friend or their sister or somebody in their family, or nobody at all, because the community did not facilitate that. The community didn't have a platform where people could come and speak about these things, especially about a face like Scully. By all accounts, it's just, I say, I don't know this man from Adam. What I do know is what I've been told by the people in his community. Are we not to believe them? Why wouldn't it be? Before we got into this westernized system of courthouses and their way of doing, of enacting justice and whatever, we had our own systems. And when you look at somewhere like Islam, agree or disagree, they have their own Sharia law systems, which is taken to the Imam, and there are different ways that they do things, some rightly, some wrongly, but it's not the Western system. We as Black people need to, look, we're here, We've been westernized for 500 years. Get it? Fair enough. We've got to work with the law of the land. We do. I'm not saying that we don't. But I'm saying that there has to be a middle ground where we actually implement some of our own value systems and our own way of processing and dealing with stuff. We do. And it is not fair that these people are walking around amongst us, like I say, like cock of the walk, and everyone's patting them on the back. That's not good for the victims. How do you think these women feel when they go to a party, a dance, a night, a wedding, a funeral, and these guys are getting a pat on the back, and they know that, hold on, this is the man that violated me as a 14-year-old girl. This is the man that's making all the relationships that I get into going forward very difficult. And my life isn't looking so great. I'm not getting a pat on the back. Who advocates for those people? This man's got brethren. He's got baby mothers. He's got family members that are actually going to defend him to the hilt, true or not true. Who do the victims have? Who do they speak to? You understand? Whoever they are. Before I forget, actually, there's something else I wanted to upload today. And it's in relation to 5-0. He actually asked me to put it on the gram. And if you're watching, brother, I'm going to put it on the new Instagram page. Fear not. Not that you are feared, but fear not. It will be going up at some point. And I'm going to read it, though, because there's been a lot spoken about that thing. And I talked about it very briefly, I think, last week, or maybe it wasn't that brief. I think it was last week in relation to that. And it was last week. And I said what I said. I said what my final conclusion is to all the nasty messages and whatever I've been getting from various people. And it isn't a lot of people. It's not even a handful. It's a couple of people that have taken issue with 5-0 being championed by us and his cause being championed by us. He's not having it anyway. So basically, this woman that has been accusing him, this is a secondary woman, not the woman that we highlighted, the woman who we found out about while we were on the live, right? Has been sort of stalking different pages and leaving nasty things about him. She left me a horrible message. She accused me of sleeping with him. I found that really interesting. But it says it's basically a letter from the Metropolitan Police. And it says, "Dear Mr. We are sorry to hear that you have been the victim of a crime and will be working hard to catch those responsible. What you tell us can also help us in investigating other cases, identifying links between different crimes and making sure police and other agencies know where crime is happening, blah, 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 blah. Please note that due to the varied nature of a police officer's job," I don't know why they're going into all of that. Basically, this is a letter. It has a crime reference number on top of it. I'm not going to read out the reference number. I don't think that's necessary. An MPS crime reference number. And it's dated the 13th of October. I will be putting that up for you that want to read it fully, although a lot of it is blurred. But what it's saying is, and what it's showing is that 5-0 has reported that woman to the police. Because he's fed up now. He's had many, many years of all of this retribution, people trying to spoil his name, blah, 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 so on and so on. And he's saying that he's actually taking a stand, and I don't blame him, because as I said, I've not been able to prove anything that was leveled against him. They haven't been able to prove anything that was leveled against him. So why should I talk out about it? Had it been the case, 5-0 and I would not be friends now. We would not talk. It would just, and I'd be going ham on him round about now, in the same way I did with my brethren Punroy, once I found out and it was proven that he raped his own, or he abused his own daughter. He raped her, I went in on him. Didn't care that he was my brethren. Didn't care that I'd known him for years. Did not care. I went in on him harder, I think, because of that. Because in my mind, hold on, you're my brethren. You've never been to my house, but I know you quite well. I've been to your house, studio, whatever, right? You're my brethren, and I know that I've had my daughter with me a couple of times when I've been around you. I've never stayed. It wasn't that kind of party. We were just friends, and I'd pop in every now and again. And, sometimes my youth would be with me, stay, have a reason, and leave. But in my mind, when I found that out, I thought, hold on, you really had your eye on my child. So no one can convince me it wasn't the case. He's a pedo, so he must have done. And my daughter's a lovely little girl. It doesn't matter to them anyway. It's just a child they want. You had your eye on my daughter, and for that reason, I'm going to go in on you double, because you actually probably thought you could probably get an inroad somewhere at some point, as if, you know, 5-0 is innocent. And I want sister to know that he's not going to take it laying down what you've been doing. I say that I wish it could be resolved between the two of them, because I seriously believe, as I said last week, that she believes it took place. I don't think it's malicious in the sense where she just wants to done him and she knows she's lying. I think she was so out of it, and she was on a highly hallucinogenic drug. I think that it's highly possible that it's something that she imagined. You know, and I wouldn't say that lightly, because a lot of women get accused of that. Oh, you made it up. Oh, you imagined it. Are you sure? No, that's not what I'm talking about. There are factors here to really heavily consider. The fact that the sister was suffering from psychosis, the fact that she was on a very, very illegally high dose of amitriptyline. It's impossible to decipher for her what was real and what wasn't. You understand? Lorraine S, no, it's not the lady that we talked about, the white woman that was highlighted. It's the other woman. You understand? Tony Sam says, R. Kelly Scully, why don't you come on the live? Well, is he in the chats? Is Scully in the chats, moderators? Scully's in the chat. Come on and back your thing, bro. Come on and back your thing. You know, it might compel one of your victims to actually come on and face you face to face. I bet that would throw you, you know. I don't know. It's alleged, as I said, but I know what I believe, and I have a right to my belief. You know, my belief doesn't carry weight in the criminal justice system. I have a right to my belief. My belief is not evidence. It's my belief from what I've seen, the receipts that I've seen. I believe the victims. I believe the victims, and I stand by that. I do. I don't have victims that are highlighted on this platform unless they've shown me something. And from what I see, it's always consistent. You know, tell me which man that's been called out on here has yet to prove his innocence. Just like they say, where's the proof? Where's the proof of your innocence? Show us that you didn't do it. Show us that you didn't. You understand? You can't prove that you didn't. And you're saying we can't prove that you did. So here we have a stalemate. What are you going to rely upon to say that you didn't? Because people know you as a stand-up funny guy. Because you fix somebody's plumbing all the while. And you put yourself out for them. So they really believe that you're a great guy. Whereas we've got a bag of women saying that you did. So I would say in a natural court of law, in a court of law of the types that we used to have in our own systems, that would actually make you guilty from the off, because too many accusers. And those accusers, that each testimony has to be examined for similarities. They're not speaking to each other. Why is everyone giving this address as saying that's the place they were taken? Why is that address lodged in their head to the point where they can read it off out of their mind like that? Why? That make no sense. People need to look deeper into stuff like that. You know, the only reason that might be is because they will never forget that address for obvious reasons. So I'm just appealing to the sisters who have been a victim of this man. Don't let him get away with it. Don't let him continue to cocksure his way through the community as if he's Johnny Big Balls. Don't allow that to happen anymore. You know, it is your silence and your individual shame that you're holding that doesn't actually belong to you, okay, that is keeping this man alive and not when I say alive, keeping him thriving is the point I'm making. It's that's keeping him thriving. Don't let that happen. Think of the other women and the other victims that can come his way if you don't stop him in his tracks. Yeah, why are the man them not vexed? Why are you not vexed to hear that one of your own is behaving in this way? You're more vexed at the women that are speaking out. My brothers and sisters, yeah, I hope I hear from some sisters and some more victims of Scully. I really hope that Michael Plant's victim and daughter heals and is able to get away from that man. I really do, sis. I know that it might be angering for you to see your what do I call her? She's the ex-missus of your uncle, your ex-auntie, call it that. You know, I know you're angry at her, but just try to remember that she herself is not the person who violated you and is still keeping those secrets. I know you're angry at your godfather for speaking out, but he too is not the person that has violated you and has kept those secrets. You understand? It's your family and it's your dad. And for you, one day, I pray, and I know we pray, that you know, that you can free yourself of all of that, man, and not be angry with the people that speak the truth of it. It is a matter of public record. I was able to find some articles about it in the local paper at the time. It's a matter of public record, sis. Your dad's already done that. It's not our fault. And yeah, we just pray for that sister's healing. We really, really do. Okay. So, people, it's getting late. It's midnight. I pray that you're going to have a great weekend. We're going for a new theme tune. I'm really hoping I can get it sorted by next week, Friday. If not, there will be no theme tune. I'll just come straight on until we sort that out. But the bottom line is that, yeah, Sunday is the Great Black Awards, the much anticipated Black Awards, the much coveted Black Awards by the, judging from the behavior of my haters. It's the much coveted Black Awards, isn't it? I'm trying to find the actual there we go, the info I did as a screenshot. So it's not too late to buy tickets. That's where it's going to be held, at the Grand Sapphire Hotel in Croydon. Look it up. And it starts at 6 p.m. till midnight, so we'll be there. I'm hoping to take the bag home. For those of you that don't know about it, I've been nominated in the Honours of Distinction list under Community Achievement, and we're hoping to win it so that we can take it and wave it in the faces of all those people that tried to write to the Black Awards and tried to tell them that I shouldn't be nominated and tried to bring the movement down, and all of those haters of the movement. So I can hold it up and say, here you go. This is what the Royal Air Force and the community think of it. You know, if not, may the best man win. There are two worthy opponents that I don't know too much about them. I know a little bit about Courtney Griffiths, but I don't have anything bad to say about those people. The best person will win, and that's what it will be. If it's Anna Romney, good on you, sis. Let's hope that we can talk, because I know there's a lot going on in Liverpool. And if Courtney Griffiths wins, you know, maybe I'll talk to him about how he feels about representing the campaign. It will be good to be in good company. So I'm high spirited about it. It's not a big deal if I don't. I think it's an honor just to be nominated and picked by the Royal Air Force of all people. I didn't even know that they would be aware or were even involved with Black causes, and the Black Awards themselves, of course. So big up to them for all the hard work they've done. They've had to come through COVID, cancel, do their thing. And we were talking the other day, and I think I'm going to miss their signature, their tune, you know, their promo. It's become the signature of the Friday Night Lives. When you hear that music, it's a bit like EastEnders now, isn't it? You know, but when that music comes on, you know that it's Afua's Live that's coming on. So we're going to get a new signature. Anybody that's skilled in that department, I've got a couple of people that I know, but it would be good to hear from people if you've got any ideas. DM me at afua.rose69 if you've got any ideas for what the theme tune should be, or what kind of visuals I could use, or if you're skilled in that department and you'd like to contribute to the cause in that way, then DM me, my brothers and sisters, DM me. So with that, I'm going to wish you guys a really wonderful night. All right. Desiree Kami, I'll give you the final word. She says, thank you, Afua. May strength and courage be given to all the victims who remain silent and scared. Absolutely, my sister. And with that, I'm going to bid you guys farewell, and I shall see you guys next week. Next week, we're going to cover actually a sister called Kara. I'm hoping I'm getting that name right. Who went missing in 1998. I've been in contact with the people that are campaigning for justice for her for a little while, but I've not actually got round to really getting in with them into the meat and potatoes and everything, and looking deep into that story. So that's been happening, and it's going to be escalated this week so that I can present it for next week. She was a girl that went missing after the last sighting of her was at Camberwell Magistrates Court. I think she was 15 at the time. And it is said that she definitely was associated with Vincent Ratt. So I think the people who are still advocating for justice for this girl, because, you know, it's possible that she's dead after all these years. It's a long, long time ago. In the 90s, I think she went missing. So she, unless she just moved house at 15 and got taken to another part of the country or ended up dead, we don't know. But the point is, there is an ongoing police investigation about this. And much of what I'm going to be talking about actually is already there on the public record and it's been investigated by the police. But the family of that girl want to examine the connections that she had with people in the Brixton area, namely people like Vincent Ratt and the Rat Pack. And who was the black man, older man, older than her, that she was seen leaving Camberwell Magistrates Court on the day that she went missing. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. I shall see you guys here. Have a wonderful weekend. For those of you that are going to be attending the awards, I will see you down there. Keep voting. Go to black.org.uk. It's a bit convoluted. You have to sort of get onto the website, and then you click that hamburger sign, you know, with the 3 lines, and then it makes a drop-down box, and then I think it says nominees, and then once you get under nominees, it will show you the different categories. Go under Honours of Distinction 2022, and then you will see those nominees, and then you will see me. Go to the bottom of that page under Honours of Distinction, and then you click vote or something, and then you can vote for the people. It's something like that. Figure it out. Ask one of the youngers to do it for you if you don't know how. But vote, and share. I'm going to put it up on the new page. We've still got up until, I think, Sunday at a certain time, I think midday or something, where you can vote. So let's bring the cup home, people, for the His Time Is Up campaign. It will be our first official accolade if we're able to do that. And I think it will make all of the pedos and the haters very, very upset. And actually, that's good enough for me. I think they're already upset the fact that I'm even there. So it'll be even more upsetting for them if I actually win it. And that'll be great. So hopefully with you guys on board, that's going to happen. So don't forget, I'm going to put it up on the new Instagram and also follow, share the new Instagram. And I will see you there. You guys know as well, sorry, I know I've got the moderators telling me to do the last bit of stuff. You know where to donate if you believe in the cause. If you want to, even from now, start contributing to next year's march, or if you just like what you hear, those are the links underneath the Instagram there. There's the GoFundMe and also the Cash App, which is the # Afua Speaks with a capital A and a capital S at the beginning of Speaks. So if you're able to, let's start the ball rolling, and I will see you guys next week. Blessed love, my brothers and sisters. Blessed love, blessed love, blessed love.